zone. He's got Simpkins. Ball in for the touchdown. Deshaun Simpkins with the snag.
Looking left to Sims Marshall. Home run down for Jalen Marshall. He's got a touchdown.
As we get started here, along with the rookie, Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here for Week 5 action here in the GMC. Kev, that's 3-1. Lakota West, they've spun off 3 wins in a row after a season-opening loss. And a side of the ball that hasn't gotten enough credit is the defensive side, particularly the linebacking core.
Yeah, you look at Caden Miller, really the anchor of that defense. Coach Bolden earlier in the week called him just one of the most complete football players he's ever seen. The way he gets from sideline to sideline and then is able to see the vision to fill the holes, he's truly, just like I said, he's that anchor in the middle of this very stout Lakota West defense that has just been impressive game in and game out outside of Week 1.
On the other side for the Hamilton Big Blue, well, it's no surprise who we're going to focus in on. He's in the offensive backfield tonight.
Yeah, Caleb Johnson, I'll tell you what, even only playing 2 games, they had 2 games canceled because of COVID protocols. Only playing 2 games, he's racked up 394 yards on offense, rushing the football. That's good for 4th in the league right now, Jeff. Just imagine if he had those other 2 games. I mean, you're probably looking at the most productive running back in the tri-state area, or at least one of them, here tonight for the Big Blue.
As we look at the conference standings, or actually the overall standings, if you will, Lakota East at the top of the standings at 3-1, along with Lakota West. Both are 2-0 in conference, along with Coleraine, also 2-0 in conference, but they are 2-2 overall. Mason is at 2-2, 1-1 in conference. Also at 2-2 and 1-1 is Sycamore. Fairfield is the next team, also at 1-1, but 1-2 in conference. It's Princeton after that, 0-1. You and I saw the Vikings a week ago, and they are 3-1 overall after taking their first loss, 24-0 over at Lakota West.
I mean, what an impressive victory for Lakota West last week. To shut out really one of the top offenses. And, you and I talked about it. Doesn't matter who you're playing. When you put up the type of offensive numbers that Princeton had in weeks 1 and 2 and 3, they know how to move the football and they know how to score quickly. Credit to the defensive backfield, honestly, for Lakota West. Ben Minnick back there, and Kyrie, it's amazing. They were able to shut down 2 of the best wide receivers in the city. And, that output that they had last week, should only carry over into this week here.
Rounding out the GMC, Hamilton's next at 0-1 in the conference, 1-1. They took a tough loss over at Lakota East as we see the emergence of the Firebirds heading to the visiting sideline. They took a tough loss, 54-21, over at the Hawks Nest a week ago. And as we talked with J.D. Vonderheide, the offensive coordinator for these Hamilton Big Blue prior to the ball game, it was just a case of, I don't want to say being overwhelmed, but once Lakota East got going, there was no stopping them.
Well, one thing that he said I think stood out for me, that was their week 1. They played West Claremont. We had that game, which was the true week 1. They had an unfortunate, with the COVID protocols, that they had to cancel 2 games. So, when you do that, you got to regroup. And it's like he said, they were making week 1 mistakes. We had, 10 penalties in that game. So, and now he's like, look, now we're into week 2. And we, any offensive coordinator, offensive coach knows that it's a process to build your offense. And you got to have those games. The only way you get better is by being out there and doing it. So, I'll be interested to see what they do offensively here tonight to try and throw some more wrinkles at them. One thing I do know is that their quarterback, Kerry Ware, he's a true dual threat. We saw him in that week 1 contest throw the ball around. He can throw the football around. I would like to see that aspect of their offense come to light here early on in this game.
As we are awaiting the emergence of the home team, the Big Blue, for their debut here in 2021. Here at the Schwarm, Virgil M. Schwarm Stadium. To round out the GMC here in this one, at 0-2 in the conference is Middletown and Oak Hills. Both are 0-4 overall here through 2021. So that's a look at the Greater Miami Conference here as we enter in Week 5. Again, Kevin, you and I had seen Lakota West, and again, so impressive a week ago, especially defensively, 24-0. You almost got the feeling that they took the foot off the pedal offensively in the second half, and even though they had a better than 3-score lead a week ago, you realize if you're Tom Bolden, you don't want to see that again.
Well, and he talked about that early on in the coaches' show, that they need to come out at halftime and come out with more enthusiasm and more fired up. That was a little bit of a weird halftime. It was a greatly extended halftime with a Princeton player that we're happy to report is doing much better, but he had to be carted off the field after a hit right before halftime.
Isaiah Myers, by the way.
Isaiah Myers, yes, and the Coleraine transfer, actually. So, again, it was a little bit of a different situation. But, one thing that I noticed in looking over the stats in the second quarter coming out of halftime, right now, Lakota West is only +2 in points. So that tells me that they need to come out and just, have a little bit more fire and a little bit more enthusiasm when they come out of that tunnel at halftime. And Coach Bolden hit on that, and I'm sure, he's got his team, ready to rock and roll this week. I even think they said they ran some laps after the way that they came out in the second half this last week.
Yeah, Tom was polite about it, but he was a little, I'm going to use the word dysphoric.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. That is a great way to put it, absolutely.
And by the way, go ahead and look at that up in your dictionary and your thesaurus. So, as we had mentioned with Lakota West, they've won 3 in a row, and we'll broach upon this as we progress through the game, partner, but they are right now 5th in the computer rankings, the first computer rankings of the season.
Yeah, first ones came out. They got the big matchup 1 versus 2 tonight, Moeller versus St. X. Really interested to see how that one goes. We'll definitely have that update on that one. That one's down at Nippert Stadium tonight, so it's a big matchup in the GCL South. The great football all the way around here tonight.
As you look left to right on your screen, you'll see it's Lakota West who will get to return the ball to open up things here in this first period. Their head coach, as we had mentioned, is Tom Bolden. Tom is in his 3rd year with the program, 18-6, 15th year overall, 150-27. Of course, he hit that milestone a week ago in the game that you and I had over in Westchester Township. On the other side for the Hamilton Big Blue, 1-1, 0-1 in the GMC. Nate Mahan in his 3rd year is at the helm. 12-11 his record here at Hamilton. Overall in his 9th year, 52-36. So Zane Taylor will get to kick things away at 5'9", 155 pounds, a senior from his own 40-yard line. Hamilton clad in the Big Blue with the white trim and numerals. It's the white uniform tops with the scarlet trim and numerals and the pants for Lakota West. And away we go here from Hamilton, here at the Schwarm. This one will touch at the 1-yard line and go into the end zone, touchback. Starting quarterback here is Mitch Bolden at 6'2", 190 pounds, a junior. Money Mitch is 31 for 57 this year for 481 yards through the air. He's got 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and a rating of 149.5. Flanking him will be Cameron Good, and the wide receivers Jair Brown, Trent Lloyd, and Ben Minnick. The tight end is Anderson Simpson, and the line, a really good one here for Lakota West. Tegra Shabola, Eric Cifuentes, Tony Curtis, Caden Fletcher, and Lathan McComas will give you the Hamilton defensive starters here after this first play. 1st and 10, out at the 20-yard line. Mitch with 2 running backs, and they go tight in the formation. They motion a man, and they send it out to the sideline. Trent Lloyd out there getting good yards on 1st down, a pickup of 9. The defensive starters on the other side for the home team, Hamilton. Up front, they run a 4-3. Antoine Chisley, Caden Bennett, Devin Mick, and Trey Verdon. The linebackers are Breon Ishmael, Gabe Verdon, and Lanny Ash. The cornerbacks are Donovan Ripley and Jalen Garrett. The free safety is Andrew Huff, and Mario Meadows is a strong safety. 2nd, and we'll call it 1. Ideal conditions, at least from a visibility standpoint. And they go jet sweep around the near side. Here's Hollywood Brown with his first touch. He has a 1st down all the way up to the 49-yard line. His hat came off at the end of the play. Initially, I thought it was the ball, but it's a 1st down on that 2nd down carry.
Jair Brown getting his first look tonight, the Ohio State commit. Looking forward to see what he does here tonight. Had a great block there on the first play on the screen pass from scrimmage, so already getting action in there. Ball spotted.
Actually, they're going to give them. Are they going to give them progress all the way and give them the 1st down? So they will out at the 40-yard line. Bolin gives. It's Cam Good with his first carry, and he gets a yard off that left side behind Big Tegra Shapola, or as he likes to be called, Master T.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's a very big person. I mean, you see him, face to face down the sidelines. You're looking up, like, oh my goodness. I mean, I am really excited to see what he does with Ohio State. Again next year, along with Jair Brown.
4-star commit will play in the Under Armour All-American Bowl. So we see Alex Safari into the lineup, then they go tight in this formation. And an amended pistol for Mitch Bolden on second down. And it's a give right up the gut behind Curtis on the little trap play, and it's good for 7 yards. So 3rd and short coming up on the run by Good, who has really been impressive this year. In fact, carrying the gumbo coming in, 52 carries, 292 yards, and a team-leading 5 touchdowns on the ground. He's got another one through the air. We saw that on that screenplay a week ago.
Yeah, he's nicknamed Gumbo because Gumbo's got a little bit of everything, and he can do that. He's got a little bit of everything, whether it's on the ground, in the air, or on defense. He's all over. One of those complete football players, and when you hear Tom Bolden talk about him, he's just so impressive with everyday stuff that he does week in and week out to make himself better.
The give to Aiden Miller, and he is stopped for a loss. He is wrapped up by young Mr. Verdon. Trey Verdon, the defensive lineman at 5'10", 200 pounds, just a freshman.
And I'll tell you what, just an impression, so impressive. You'll see the replay here. I mean, just gets in there and wreaks havoc, and he's done this all year long for Coach Mahan's team. And again, when you have a freshman like that that's able to be disciplined and get in there and stay low and play with leverage like he just did right there, wow, he's got an impressive future here at Hamilton.
Ben Minnick will punt. He did not punt a week ago, if I recall. It was Alex Safari. Good snap, and he thought about going, but it's away, end over end, pinwheeling out to the far side, and takes a favorable Lakota West roll inside the 10. Down to the 8-yard line. That's a beauty punt. 46 yards, and it's one of those beauty punts for a punter who gets an inside the 20 stat.
And not a bad look there. I'll tell you what, Ben Minnick, he's the 100-meter champion here at Lakota West on the track squad. Coach Bolden talked about that in his pregame show as well. And having him back there, that's another threat on that punt team for Lakota West. I'm going to keep my eye on that throughout the game. That could be interesting.
Starting quarterback is Kerry Ware at 5'11", 175 pounds, a senior. 6 for 10 this season for 126 yards. He's got a touchdown to his credit. He threw one last week, and he's got a rating of just under 200, 198.8. He has been on target. We saw him in week 1, and he was well on target. He keeps on the first play from scrimmage and gains a couple yards before getting pushed back. So Kerry Ware's the quarterback. Hassan Robertson's the tight end. The wide receivers are Breon Ishmael, Elijah Givens, and Samaj Aldrich. Caleb Johnson is the tailback. Up front, it's Derek Deaton, Kerryon Jones, Tyler Camden's the center, Preston Ratliff, and Hayden Renner. And as we get a moment here, let's give you the defense for visiting Lakota West. 3-3-5 defense. Brian Henderson, Kofi Bobie, and Elijah Davis up front. And here's a second down play and swarming defense, and it's a loss on the play. We'll give you the linebackers here. Tyler Sparnell, Aiden Miller, and Isaiah Jones are the linebackers, and they go 5 deep in the backfield. Jair Brown and Josh Fussell are the cornerbacks. Alex Safari, Malik Hartford, and Ben Minnick are the safeties.
Alex Safari, the UK commit, you'll see him on both sides of the football. And what amazes me with Lakota West is how many dual threats they have, guys that will play both ways. Jair Brown, Alex Safari, we saw Ben Minnick as well. So, again, Coach Bolden really utilizing all the talent he has on this team. And it just shows right now, Jeff, what they've been able to do.
Forward progress back to that 10-yard line. We got an official stoppage while we're waiting. On third downs here so far this season, the home team is 5 of 16. That's 31% on the year. Now, partner, as we do have that first TO, both teams are struggling right now on third down. In fact, Lakota West not much better at 32%, 10 of 31. So what does that tell you? That means that you have these critical situations, and whoever wins on third down is going to have an upper hand, especially in this first half.
It also tells me another thing. You got to do better on second down. You know what I mean? You got to have a better second down play or gain more yardage on second down. You know, we talk about being on schedule and a lot, and we've talked about it in our broadcast, Jeff, that you and I have done, I think, week in and week out. You know, whenever you get in these long situations, this was Hamilton's issue last week against Lakota East. They were always in that 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9, 3rd and 9 situation, 3rd and long. Those are tough plays to convert on. You don't have many of those on your call sheet if you're J.D. Vonderheide. So they need to figure out a way to get out of those type of long yardage situations and do better on second down to make it 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3 as opposed to 3rd and 8.
Twins to each side. So doubles, and they empty out the backfield for Kerry Ware on third down. Back into the pocket, he steps up, and now he stumbles forth, and he comes down. He came down with the ball as the right wrist hit the turf, and it'll be 3 and out.
Elijah Givens goes down in the backfield.
So it was the Wildcat, beg your pardon, and Elijah Givens who's been running that. Much like on the other side, Alex Safari for visiting Lakota West. Gains loses yards on that, a loss of 2 on the play. So a punting situation, and we see Jair Brown at the Hamilton 45-yard line. Good snap, it is blocked! Jumped on by one of the up men over at the 17-yard line. Jumped on by Andrew Huff, one of the safeties for Hamilton. Didn't see who got a hand on that one, but it is a positive play, if you will, at least for Hamilton. But it's 1st and 10 in the Cincinnati Reds red zone. For breaking news and behind-the-scenes content for Reds, go follow them on social, out on Twitter, @Reds.
Well, you know what? I mean, shoot. Lakota West lined up everybody on the line. Honestly, if I'm Coach Mahan in that situation, I'm probably going to have to take my second timeout because this is now look at the situation we've created. I would have called a timeout there, really talked about with my coaches up in the box, got a game plan on how we want to defend all those guys up on the line for Lakota West.
Bolden gives. It's good off the left side. He has positive yards inside the 15-yard line out to the 13-yard line. Cam had been a game-time decision coming on into this one. However, we saw him on Monday when we talked to Coach Bolden, and he looked fine. In fact, Gumbo had said when we asked him about how he was doing, he said he was doing fine, nothing to report injury-wise, and obviously it's showing up here.
Yeah, came out last week. We know a little ankle injury, which is something that, you definitely want to monitor as a coach, with any type of good running back, especially with the way Cameron's been running the ball this year. I'm going to be interested in kind of keep my eye on that all night long.
Triples to the top of your screen and a single down to the bottom. That's Trent Lloyd, and we'll see if they go to Trent here on second down. They'll go screen inside to the top side, and it's incomplete.
Bold's pass intended for Dwayne Richardson.
So Dwayne Richardson, who has been getting some starting duty, is in there, and he mishandles it, and he wouldn't have gone anywhere, and he'll bring up third down.
Great job by the Hamilton defense there, snuffing that out. And, interesting call there for Lakota West. Interesting second down call. But, we'll see what they can convert here on third down. But, right now for your Hamilton, you got to hold them here to at least a field goal. That's got to be considered a victory at this point.
It's good in the backfield with Mitch Bolden on third down. As we mentioned, 32% on third down. Mitch will keep across the 10, down to the 5, 1st and goal coming up. He was dropped down there out at the 5 by Jalen Garrett, the defensive back who impressed us so much over at West Claremont in week 1.
Yeah, again, just a really nice performance there. And, that game, what a wild game that was 4 weeks ago.
Triplets to the top of your screen. And, again, good inside with Bolden. And the give to God, 6-0, Lakota West.
Cameron Good, your ball carrier.
So that's touchdown number 6 this year for Cam Good. On the ground, his 7th overall.
Cam Good, yet again, just great push up front. by the offensive line there, Tony Curtis and Caden Fletcher, and then Tegra Chabola there, and then a great job by Mitch Bolden getting in there, riding out that fake inside.
And it looks like Hannah Duncan will kick the extra point. The right footer lets fly in good. 7-0 with 5:44 left to go here in this opening period here at the Schwarm. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here in Week 5 of the GMC on Chatterbox Live. We didn't get a chance to tell you, so we're going to tell you now. The referee for this one is Daniel Sander. The umpire is Grant Shearing. The linesman is Patrick Armbruster. The line judge, Dan Armbruster. And the back judge is Joseph Schneider. So the scoring drive here, 4-play drive, that's just a bit under a minute. In fact, 51 seconds. It goes 17 yards, capped off by the good 5-yard touchdown run. Point after by Duncan's good. Brand new score here at the Schwarm, 7-0 as Lakota West, as per usual, strikes first.
Yeah, a great drive there for Lakota West. And I was mentioning about the offensive line. Just so impressed right now on that drive by Tony Curtis, Hayden Fletcher, getting their down blocks. When you're running those inside plays, that's what really it's about. Blocking down and getting across your man. And, just fantastic job, especially on that last play there by the offensive line, getting that good push and hitting their marks where they need to be and making those blocks. If you don't get up into the second level, into the linebackers, that's where that type of play, has nowhere to go.
Tyler Sparnell, who had opened the year as the place kicker, has been really relegated a little bit more to kickoff duties as we progress through this season. Will kick from the 40. And this one muffed at the 5, picked up at the 15, up ahead, the return man out to the 16-yard line. So if nothing else, it's a fortuitous bounce for Hamilton, but they're stuck inside their own 20 for a second straight drive.
Yeah, definitely not exactly what you wanted to have there start out for Hamilton. Again, special teams, obviously playing an early factor in this one. We had the block punt earlier, and now the muffed kickoff return there. So, again, you're just making the offensive coordinators and the offense's job a lot harder now. Anxious to see what they're going to do here, if they spread them out or try to come back in and start, using Kerry Ware in the backfield a little bit more.
Single wide out to the top. That's Elijah Givens, who was in the Wildcat on the last offensive play. The give off the right side. It's KJ. Caleb Johnson, short of 400 yards coming into this ball game. He gains a couple on this first play.
Such a dynamic back. I mean, committed to Cal. You know that he knows how to run the ball. And everything you read online about him, he is just a big force behind that offensive line and in the backfield for Hamilton.
Hayden Miller on the tackle, by the way, and he had 11 stops a week ago. He was so very impressive against Princeton in week number 4.
Talked about him early on. Side-to-side mover, sees the field very well.
Tom Bolden had incredible high praise for him on the Firebirds Sports Show out on Monday. At second down, and it's the quarterback keeping, and not much. I don't know if he got back. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, here they are again, in another third and 5, 3rd and 6, this is a little bit more manageable. But again, in that 3rd and long situation, meaning they're not picking up the yardage they need on second down. So kind of a carryover from last week in these long yardage situations backed up into their own side. So, they got to start getting some production if you're Hamilton, out of your offense right now.
3rd and we'll call it 5 from the 22. And we'll see if Lakota West comes on this one. And the roll right by Ware, throwing to the sideline, nearly picked off. Alex Safari out there denying Elijah Givens. Givens wanted a flag on that one. No dice, 3 and out.
Yeah, bang play there. But I'll tell you what, Alex Safari, again, just carrying over his play from last week, was all over the field. Absolutely shut that entire play down right there for Lakota West. Again, you're just looking at all the different components on this defense, Jeff, and they are just complete from top to finish, top to start, excuse me. And, they're so young. That's what's so impressive about it.
4th and 5 as Jair Brown's at his own 45 on this punt. The last one was blocked, and this one nearly blocked as Brown has an opportunity from his 45. Oh, nice step around to the boundary. Comes up front looking for the middle of the field. Now back out to the sideline, spun around inside the 40-yard line. So a hell of a return there for young Mr. Brown. Hooray for Hollywood, a return of 17.
What a move that was. Absolutely juked the guy out there middle of the field. I mean, again, you just see the athleticism by Jair. I mean, just unbelievable what he's able to do with the ball in his hands. Just a true dynamic football player. And you can tell exactly why Ryan Day and the Ohio State Buckeyes pinpointed him.
I don't think he's going to see the field as far as an offensive capability when he plays in Columbus starting next year, to be honest. But that speaks a little bit more to the talent that they have up there in the C-Bus. Singles to each side as they go to the shotgun look, and Gumbo with a blocker in front of him gains good yards on first down, a pickup of 6.
I'll tell you what a block there by big old number 73, Lathan McComas. I mean, he just absolutely took his guy and pile drove him down over Jair. I mean, just what a absolutely man-handle of a block that was.
Again, singles, and again, we go to an amended pistol. So you have an H-back that's helping the running back, and a first down carry for good. As he crosses a 30 on down inside the 25-yard line, needed 3, got 5 more.
Right now, if you're Lakota West, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep running camera good. He's running really well against behind that offensive line.
16 carries a week ago, 92 yards. That's nearly 6 yards a tote against Princeton. And again, a third. Oh, the ball's on the ground, picked up by Bolden as he tries to go forward, and his forward progress will be stopped out of about the 24-yard line, and a flag at the end of the play as they pile drived Bolden out to the sideline, and this is what you can't have if you're the Big Blue.
Yeah, that's, again, mental errors right there. There was no reason for that to happen. There was nothing there. It just should have let him go out of bounds. I will say one thing, if you're Mitch Bolden, I'm telling you, hey, fall on that football, man. Go down. Live to fight another down. Picking the ball up, he didn't pick up really maybe a yard from where he was going to be down. So, I'm going to say not exactly a smart decision by Mitch Bolden there.
So we heard some conferring. I thought we were going to get a call, an actual on-air call from Daniel Sander, tonight's referee.
Personal foul on Hamilton.
But it is a personal foul against Hamilton. And at the 24, I would imagine they're marking this half the distance to the goal line. And we'll spot this right around the 12. So stopping the quarterback is fine. Actually, they're having a hard time in setting the ball. This should be a little further up unless there's something else from the point of infraction, because the ball's at the 17-yard line.
And the chains haven't moved.
So we got some confusion.
I don't know what happened there.
Well, we have 1st and 10 at the 17 up on the scoreboard with 2:58. And I don't think the officiating crew understands that we have second out on the sideline, and we'll call it 2nd and 3. And the give goes to Good. He has a first down to the sideline, inside the 10, out to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal coming up. So 4 straight running plays, all involving Good. In fact, the mishandle on that third one on the bad mesh point between Bolden and Good was standing. They're inside the 10. 1st and goal as Good off right tackle to the goal line. He's in for a second. 13-0 West.
And I'll tell you what, Cameron Good. Geez, what a running back. I mean, just absolutely just pile drives his way into the end zone. I mean, just a fantastic job there, especially by his offensive line. And they've been doing it all night. And, Jeff, right there, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Right now, Coach Bouchamp to my left here, just keep calling it, keep turning it, keep running that football.
Tyler Bone will kick. He's the left footer. So we saw Hannah Duncan on the last PAT. It's Bone here, who's 3 for 3. Coming on in, beg your pardon, as he pinwheels this one through. Coming on in, Bone had been 6 for 6. He's now 7 for 7, 14-0 West. So good on the 6-yard touchdown run. That caps off a 5-play drive that goes 39 yards. It took a minute and 12 seconds off the clock. And we got the brand new score after the bone point after. 14-0 West.
Again, just going back to Lakota West and Cameron Good, I mean, just so impressive what they did just on that drive there, what they closed out there with 5 straight runs, I believe, on that drive. And, that's just the dominance right now. If you're Hamilton, you got to figure something out defensively. And I don't know whether they can with this big offensive line here.
And as we look at scoring by quarters, one of the big advantages belongs to Lakota West.
Yeah, they have a plus 42 margin in the first quarter right now, outscoring opponents 45-3 in the first quarter. And that's one of the things that they do, Jeff. They get started fast. And when you're able to do that and pin your opponent down early, to play catch up in high school football is tough. It's a really tough thing as to call plays, to organize your team. Look, it's 14-0 right now. Hamilton's from now on is going to have to be playing catch up. When you're able to do that in the first quarter, and that's just demoralizing to your opponents.
Here's Tyler Sparnell. End over end kick, return man from the 10. To the middle of the field, 15, out to the 20, coming to the near side, 25, 30. He's got a break. It is Elijah Givens to the house. 90 yards on the kickoff return, and Hamilton has life 14-6.
And just like that, Jeff, just like that, the tide has turned. We call it the big mo, the big momentum. Now it shifts over to Hamilton. And now, like they say, we got ourselves a ball game. You take a look at the kickoff return right here on the replay. I mean, just great tackles. There's 1, 2, 3 tackles broken right there, just streaking down the sidelines. I mean, nowhere to beat. If you're Lakota West right there, that's just a really poor job of tackling and making the tackle at the point of contact on special teams. And hey, here we go, Jeff.
Ty Ramey for the point after. Good kick, and she is through just inside the right upright. Off the hold of Gabe Verdon. And the brand new score on one play on the kickoff return by Elijah Givens. 14-7, and a lot of scoring here in the opening quarter here at the Schwarm.
Right now, if you're Lakota West, Coach Bo just got you set everybody down. Big play. Hey, change of momentum. Quick change. Hey, slow down. We're fine. We continue to do everything we need to do offensively and defensively. And then even Coach Mahan on the other sideline, hey, take advantage of this moment right now. I want to strike quickly. I want to get this game tied right now as quickly as I possibly can and continue that momentum throughout and hopefully, carry it into the second quarter. So, again, it's kind of tales of two different sidelines right now. There's a lot of football left to play. We're only in the first quarter here. So, again, Lakota West, they'll settle down here. Coach Bolden, he's a professional at this. He's been around the block a few times.
I don't know if we got a chance to mention this at the start of the ball game. Game time temperature, 84 degrees. Obviously, visibility conditions really just about perfect. Partly cloudy skies here at the Schwarm. Wind conditions south-southeast at about 4 miles an hour. But the humidity, and this is why you and I are sweating it off here in a lodge here up in the Hamilton press box, 58%.
Man, I was hoping last week we'd finally get a little taste of fall maybe, but no, summer decided to come roaring back.
Well, if you believe in global warming, we are experiencing it head on here this summer. And I do still consider this to be summertime.
Absolutely.
So Zane Taylor will go kick things off from his own 40-yard line. He'll left-foot it out. And it looks like Trent Lloyd, who's back there to return kicks, as well as Jair Brown from their own 10-yard line. And this one, pinwheels out to the 15. It's Lloyd to the 20. Out the far sideline, 30. Has a burst of speed to the 35, out towards the 38-yard line. So a good return of 23 for Trent Lloyd, who got injured in week 1 on a kickoff return. It's good to see him. We saw him back in action a week ago over at Lakota West. He had a couple catches, and he had a dazzling touchdown. He had actually a couple scores, both of which were called back a week ago.
Yeah, in that whole second half, I think Coach Bolden mentioned it that they could have been that could have been a 44-0 ball game real quick, but they had a couple touchdowns called back on penalties, in that second half last week. But it's good to have Mitch have that weapon back in his arsenal now, another person to go to make this offense even more dynamic.
Goods in the backfield with Bolden, and they motion a man. It's Brown coming to the near side on the jet sweep. Does not have enough blockers in front of him, but cuts back inside and has some yardage across the 45, and he's 3 yards short away from a first down. As we melt the clock, gone down to 2 minutes left to go here in Hamilton, and a beauty sunset out to the west side or out to our right. And I do love this time of year, partner. In fact, it's like you and I were very happy to see the things that we saw as far as conditions. We don't have the blaring sun out to the west coming into our eyes. It's like we have a clear shot of the field tonight, and that's all you can ask for.
Absolutely, compared to what we've had the past couple of weeks.
It's Brennan Remy, the lone receiver at the bottom of your screen, and it's good. He has the first down up the middle across the 40, and he was a step away from breaking it out to the 37-yard line, a pickup of 16.
Number 73, Latham McCandless, there again on the right side, making holes for Cameron Good. He's been doing it all night long.
So a little consternation. I'm not sure what was going on out there, but the young man with the white hat was in it with the Lakota West players, I think, trying to calm them down. And that's what we got here with 1:10, or beg your pardon, with 1:40 left to go here in this first period. And again, it looks like with the way Good is running, he's on tap for his third very shortly.
So interesting thing here, I just saw the center, Tony Curtis, come off the field. He was talking with the referee. Now Coach Bolden is not happy with him at all. That referee's getting a mouthful from Coach Bolden. But so this will be interesting. Entering into the game now at center, looks like number, is that 52? I'm going to say that's Caden Fletcher.
So Fletcher's the right guard, and he would come on over and play center if that's the case.
Trying to see, that was interesting there. I'd be really interested to see what happened.
Again, the amended pistol. And Good off the left side behind Shabola. Has some space across the 35 on down to the 31-yard line. And again, big-time positive yards coming up here for this West offense. And one of the things that Nate Mahan was so keen on talking about was stopping one aspect of the Lakota West offense. Now, if it's the passing game, so far they've done good. If it's the running game, they might need to adjust some things at halftime.
Yeah, definitely need to make some running games. But I'll tell you what, the passing game really hasn't needed to be there for Lakota West right now. They've been running the ball with such efficiency, in this first quarter so far.
Again, Good in the space, out to the 20, inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. A pickup of 15, so big chunks being picked up by Gumbo.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you have a 6'6", 330-pound left tackle to run behind, Jeff, that's a road blocker right there.
And they go right to the line. Again, tight formation. Gumbo again, and it's almost like he's doing an Emmitt Smith impression in the Super Bowl against Buffalo, just carrying on every down, a pickup of maybe one on the play.
I like that, Emmitt Smith, back in the day, man.
And we've got 18 on the play clock. We'll see if they get another play off, or if they're content to switch sides of the field. So we're in a bit of a holding pattern as we melt the clock under 10 seconds. And they're going to try to get one more off. It's Brown to the top of your screen, and we have run out of time here in this first period. It's domination by Cameron Good, 14-7. Here at the Schwarm. This is the GMC Week 5 here on Chatterbox Plus. Eli Sports Bar and Grill proudly sponsors high school football with 3 locations in Mason, Liberty Township, and Ross. Our 10-foot screens guarantee a great view from every seat in the house. Eli Sports Bar and Grill, the best place in Cincinnati for sports, food, and fun. 12 minutes here in the book here in Week 5, 14-7 in favor of Lakota West. Well, one thing's for certain, we won't see a shutout tonight, which, given the way Lakota West played a week ago, partner, I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that touchdown did come on a kickoff return.
Yeah, right now, I view their defense is pitching a shutout. Their special teams is not. But, hey, team sport, right? Team game. Everybody's, not pitching a shutout right now. So see what they can do here in the red zone.
6th play of the drive. Again, it goes to good. We sound like a broken record. To the 10, down the sideline, to the 5, to the goal line. He's in for his third tonight, 20-0. Or is he out? He did step out. We had one official call for 6, but we had the other official on the backside say he stepped out inside the 5. 1st and goal coming up.
I'll tell you what, I'm just so impressed tonight with the way Cameron Good has been running the football. I mean, just an absolute breakout career night, or career half so far for him. And credit to his offensive line, man. That's where it all starts.
They'll spot the ball officially at the 2. Tight formation, no wide receivers in this package. And they go big in this set. Aiden Miller has it, touchdown, 20-0. So Miller gets a carry here at the goal line. That's his first of the year.
I'll tell you what, one person we have not talked about a lot for Lakota West this year, is their tight end, number 33, Anderson Simpson. A great block here on the edge. You'll see the replay right now, or just saw it, as a matter of fact. But, just fantastic blocking there by the big tight end to give Cameron Good another touchdown on the night, Jeff.
Hannah Duncan on the kick. Perfect in her last attempt. Perfect on this attempt. 2 for 2 tonight. She is now 8 for 9 this season. 21-7 is your brand new score here at the Schwarm. All runs on that drive, partner. In fact, 7 runs. As that one went, again, 7 plays, 61 yards. That took off 2.5 minutes off the clock. The Miller 2-yard run in relief of Cam Good, who did almost all the damage on that entire drive. He needed a break after that one. And then the point after Good, 21-7 is your score.
And you got to credit the offensive line right now. That's where it all starts for Lakota West. Tegris on the left side there, just absolutely dominating the defensive line for Hamilton. Hamilton, I'd like to see him try and do something defensively. I don't know whether it's put more guys in the box, move those backers up a little bit. Not quite sure what that looks like, but Coach Mahan, coming into halftime, definitely going to have to figure something out defensively to shut down this potent of running attack right now, Lakota West.
3 safeties deep for Hamilton on the kickoff. The center point is Caleb Johnson. Tyler Sparnell will kick off from his own 40. And a little low squibber taken by one of the up men at the 12. Down the sideline, across the 20, down towards the 30-yard line. That is Johnson, who came over to the bottom of your screen and picked up good yardage, a return of 18, and it's 1st and 10 coming up from the 30.
Well, we didn't really talk about keys to the game, but I'll tell you one thing that I'd like to see with the Hamilton offense I had written down here. I'd like to see him open up that offense a little bit. We saw Kerry Ware throw the football in week 1 with really great precision as they came back, being down 28-8 in the first quarter against West Claremont. So, again, they're so heavy with Caleb Johnson, so heavy on the ground as they were even last week. I'd like to see, Coach Von Hart maybe open it up a little bit, distribute the ball out to some of their other playmakers, especially with the way I think Kerry Ware can throw the football. Granted, remember, this is like their redo of week 2, having been out for 2 weeks with COVID.
They motion Johnson. It's a little sweep out to the right. Initially sniffed out, and then now he's coming back to the middle, and he is met from behind as he pushes the pile forward for another couple of yards. So a nice pickup on 1st down for Caleb Johnson. So Josh Fussell gets credit for the tackle. A little rugby-style scrum on the tackle there, but Josh gets the credit, and it's 2nd and 5.
Just saw Caden Bennett, defensive lineman, go into the football game for Hamilton. Interesting to see what Coach Vonderheit has here. This could be interesting. Maybe put him in a fullback position, or maybe down on the offensive line to get a bigger push.
Well, we had talked with JD prior to the ball game and talked about managing snaps for Caden on the offensive side, because he is good on this side, but he's a little bit more important in the estimation of the coaching staff on the defensive side.
Yeah, one opinion. I've been in those meetings before where you're trying to decide, all right, how many failures are going to give this kid on this side? I want him. No, I need him. That's tough. But, they're doing a good job, low distributing. But, see what he does here. Tight
formation. The pitch back. It goes to Johnson, and it's snuffed out. I mean, it is snuffed out incredibly quick. Fussell again for a second straight stop.
And, just really poor blocking there by the offensive line for Hamilton. Missed blocks. You saw a couple guys there really not even touch anybody. So they got to clean that up. And again, here's like another, third and long situation.
Talked to Aiden Miller prior to this ball game, in fact, over at the Firebirds show on Monday, and talked about Fussell being fearless. When you describe a teammate in a single word, and that word is fearless, that should tell you something.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
3rd and 5. Elijah Givens the carry. Out towards the sideline he is. Brought down at the 35. Strung out to the sideline. He tried to get his way upfield. Had nowhere to go, and it's 4th down.
On defense for Lakota West, just saw somebody come in the game. I really haven't seen him much so far, but number 11, Jacob Asbeck, he's got 15 tackles on the year so far. And I saw him last week. He gets in these scrums, and he's all over the field. He's in these tackles, making these tackles. 15 solo tackles so far this year. Overall, really impressive what he's done. I've been seeing him get more and more playing time each week, as he gains this confidence of this new defensive staff.
4th and 6 from the 36-yard line. Punter is Kerry Ware, out at his own 25. And we've got an official stop.
See a flag back here.
Flag on the play, delay of game.
So it's a delay of game and move the offense back the other way. It is funny to see the flag down out by the return man on the opposite side of the field when it's an offensive foul, but that's the way we roll.
Well, he'll be the one in charge of actually the referee in the back there will be in charge of looking at the play clock. So he'll be the one to basically toss that flag pretty much every time, because that's his job.
Stoppage in play, and while we have a moment, if your AC or furnace is struggling, turn to the experts at Bartell's Heating and Cooling. Their certified technicians get the job done right the first time. And if you need a new unit, Bartell's will give you upfront pricing with no hidden fees. Plus, ask about Bartell's 0% interest financing for 60 months. Learn more at bartellsheatingandcooling.com. Bartell's Heating and Cooling for a comfortable way of life. And boy, could we use them here in the Hamilton press box tonight.
Absolutely, man. It is toasty. There's absolutely no wind tonight. That flag to our left is just dead still right now.
Browns at the 31-yard line, and it's Kerry Ware, the quarterback, who will punt. Kerry is averaging just about 27 yards a kick this year on 6 kicks, a long of 35. Good snap, and it's away. Spiraling kick, and it'll drop dead at the 35 and roll to the sideline. So 29 yards on the punt, nothing on the return. 1st and 10 for visiting Lakota West, and they've scored on 3 straight opportunities.
Yeah, all behind Cameron Good. Just absolutely just being that dynamic runner that, Coach Bolden has talked about week in, week out. We've talked about him now 3 times this year in the games that we've seen. Truly amazing what he can do and his vision that he has in the backfield, able to see the holes, plant his foot, get upfield. And then, but you got to also credit, and I've been saying it all week or all night, is that offensive line for Lakota West is just absolutely dominating up front, and that was one of the big keys to going into this game. Who's going to dominate up there? They both have big players, and so far it's been Lakota West.
Here's the end around to Trent Lloyd, coming sideline. Gets past the man to the 40, to the 45. He's got a 1st down on 1st down. A pickup of 11.
Great job by Alex Afari out there. Haven't called his name much on offense, but a fantastic block. And he stuck with the block, Jeff. And that's what you got to do if you're out there on the edge, especially on those jet sweeps. Stick with your blocks and keep that man in front of you. Excellent job by Alex Afari. You can tell why UK wanted him down in Lexington.
Got a chance to chat a little bit with Trent's dad, Ed. At the end of last week, we were talking a little bit about the touchdown that had to come back as Trent goes to the top of your screen. And they motion Afari off the left side, out across the 50 to the 45-yard line. So he came off that little sweep and ran behind that left side, but behind, of course, Big Tegra Shapola and Eric Cifuentes.
You know, great job there by Alex Afari to see the hole. Shapola and everybody was pretty much far out. He was able to see that, hey, I need to plant and get out inside right now. He was able to see that vision. Again, we talk about, you know, the vision of these Lakota West running backs and in the backfield. They just all seem to have great vision. Alex Afari there plants his foot, gets upfield. Huge gain for Lakota West.
We mount the clock under 8 minutes to go till halftime, 21-7 on an 8-yard pickup by Alex Afari. And they go into basically a wing T and a first passing opportunity for Bolden. He wants the home run for Afari at the 20-yard line. It's a catch inside the 20 down to the 19, a pickup of 25.
We had not seen them throw the ball much, and right there you saw, Mitch Bolden's accuracy, and his ball placement is so key. Right there, look what he did with Alex Afari. That ball was going to be placed. Alex Afari got a foot down and is out of bounds, but nobody else was going to catch that football. Alex Afari is the only person, because of the ball placement by Mitch Bolden. Just, again, that's the type of accuracy and that dual threat that he can possess.
An easy pass. In fact, you saw the trajectory of it, partner. It had a nice, easy arc to it, and Afari easy pitch and catch. So 1st and 10 as we go back inside the Cincinnati Reds red zone, and another opportunity for Bolden. In the pocket, throws deep middle, incomplete. Looking downfield for Lloyd. He was double covered in the backfield. Huff closest to it. So we saw the passing game, in fact, a little bit more profoundly, especially on the first play of the game a week ago. We see Mitch's first passing attempt come with just about 8 minutes left to go in the first half. What a dichotomy of play calling that we have here tonight.
Absolutely, and right there, great pass coverage by Hamilton, by Elijah Givens on that play. He wanted to go to Alex Afari, basically on the flag route to the corner of the end zone, but again, he was shut down by Elijah Givens. Have to see if that big blue defense can come up big here in the red zone.
Twins to the top of your screen, and we've got an official stop. So a timeout charge to Lakota West. Eli Sports Bar and Grill proudly sponsors high school football with 3 locations in Mason, Liberty Township, and Ross. Our 10-foot screens guarantee a great view from every seat in the house. Eli Sports Bar and Grill, the best place in Cincinnati for sports, food, and fun. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thank you for joining us here for Week 5 here in the GMC on Chatterbox Plus. Our videographers tonight are Alex McCleary and Maddie Morris. Our production twins, Kevin Miller and Zach Teeters, in the booth with us, sweating to the oldies.
Oh, man. Tell you what, beautiful night, beautiful sky out there, Jeff. Up here in Hamilton.
Got a word from Zach Teeters that young Mr. Miller is on much better behavior tonight. Why? His in-laws delivered the in-house grub for us here. So as we come out of the timeout, 2nd and 10. Bolden back to pass again. Now sprints out to the left and is throwing on the move, and it is incomplete. He threw it. It may have been to an ineligible receiver. I don't think they're going to call that because it looked like it was intended for Miller, technically, to bring up 3rd down.
I didn't see if he had a tight end to that side, but I think he might have been in the inside the tackle box there. But another play there that Mitch Bolden, again, I probably would have had him eat that one, but again, incomplete pass, ball's right back where it was. 3rd and long now inside the goal line, or inside the red zone, excuse me.
So again, in the Cincinnati Reds red zone, they're starting a weekend series with the LA Dodgers, who's just like the Reds, fighting for their lives for a playoff spot in the National League. And they start a homestand tonight as they're going on right now. 3rd and 10. Bolden rolls left, looking downfield, flag on the play, throws deep middle, and it is nearly picked off, deflected at the goal line, and we'll have to see what the flag is. It's a hold against the visiting Lakota West Firebirds.
Yeah, I'm going to say that big number 73, the 6'4", 280 senior, Lathan McCombs, right there. What you can't do, especially he was kind of out in space, and the referee's literally staring right at you the entire time. So, can't have that. Can't commit a penalty like that in that type of situation, because now look where the ball's going to be. It's going to be third and forever.
Well, what did we see a week ago against Princeton? We had a situation where they had a goal-to-go situation in, I believe it was the third period, and they backed all the way up to the 40-yard line, got a field goal attempt. They had 2 touchdowns on that drive called back, and it was a missed field goal. And I mean, that was about as hard a play or a drive as we've seen from anybody this year. Roll left for Bolden. In the pocket, now running for his life. It gets a triple team, and he's going to have to eat it out of the 40-yard line. Harassed in the backfield, and a great job out there. 56 was the first one in Tyler Campton, and he got some cleanup help behind him. 27 is Antoine Chisley.
Great job by the Big Blue defense right there, staying at home, snuffing out the play, and just honestly really poor offensive line play there by Lakota West. I don't know if there was a miscommunication up front, but it seemed like that just was completely snuffed out by Coach Mahan's coaching staff, and the entire Big Blue defense was all over him in the backfield.
So the ball's at the 40-yard line. They're going to punt here with Ben Minnick behind his own 50 out at the 46-yard line. And Elijah Givens looking his chops, trying to get another return for 6. He's out at his 10. We got a flag on the field. So a delay of game here to reset because we've had some stoppages in play. 1 timeout left for the home team. 2 left for visiting Lakota West. 3-1 here coming into this ball game for the young men of Tom Bolden. They've won 3 in a row. And after winning their initial Week 1 battle against West Claremont, Hamilton had 2 weeks off due to COVID restrictions and then lost to Lakota East a week ago. Minnick, a high end-over-end punt. Hits at the 30, and it will stay out on the side. Comes back into the field of play. Not much of a punt. 13 yards officially on the play.
Yeah, Lakota West kind of self-destructed right there after the big pass play to Afari down the sideline. Just really uncharacteristic, for them to have 2 really bad pass plays, take a sack, get stuffed in the backfield, back-to-back plays, and then, kind of the muff punt there. So right now, if you're Coach Bolden, you want your players, if he talked about, hey, we need to take that next step, right? If we're this good and people want to talk about us, we got to take that next step. And right now, that's what he's telling his team. Hey, look, take that next step. Finish out this half. Finish out and dominate them. That's what you should be doing if you're this good. And right now, they didn't show that, there towards the end. Now, if you're Hamilton, got to take advantage right now. Get some points on the board going into halftime.
The deep back is Johnson, and he gets the ball. Coming right tackle. Couple of yards out towards the 35-yard line, and as he's pushed back there. Elijah Davis, the young sophomore. We get to call his name for the first time. Very impressed with the sophomore. In fact, as we progress through the season, I think he's only going to make a bigger and bigger impact.
15 tackles on the year for the young guy, and you're absolutely right. I mean, his impact has been gaining each and every week on that defensive line for Lakota West.
Pick up 3, and again to Johnson. And this time he's stacked up as he crosses the middle of the field, and maybe a pickup of 2 on that one. Brian Henderson, beg your pardon. Henderson, the lone holdover from the front starting 3 a year ago, made the stop.
You and I had the same thought there. I mean, it was a fantastic play, was able to snuff it out. What I love about Henderson there on the edge is that he plays with great heel depth. He doesn't over-pursue himself into the backfield, so that means he's always right there at the line of scrimmage to make a play. And again, just that impact that he's had coming off the fantastic defense he's had last year, and now is that senior leader on this young defense for Lakota West.
Twins to each side. In fact, they line up Johnson in a slot to the left, and it's a wildcat look for Elijah Givens out to the 40, and he's trying to get a push, and there's some pushback the other way from Lakota West. He's going to be short of the first down by about a yard.
Aiden Miller, I mean, my goodness, just absolutely stuffed him right there at the point of contact. I mean, pushed him back, and right there you see what a special player that Mike linebacker is. We talked about him in the pregame. Coach Bolden talked about him on the coaches show. I mean, just the true impact that he makes up front. And all across the field, we talked about sideline to sideline. Aiden Miller, just a truly special defensive player for Lakota West. Looks like
so we got a conference out in the middle of the field, and they're going to measure. So we haven't seen that very often. Games going on right now. As we had mentioned, it's a full slate here in the GMC. Oak Hill's at Coleraine. Obviously, the one that you're witnessing right now here at the Schwarm. Lakota East at Mason. Fairfield at Princeton, who we saw a week ago. They're at home. And then it's Sycamore hosting Middletown. So they appear to be a bit short.
Well, Coach Mahan and Coach Vonderheide were begging for a measurement there. I mean, absolutely pleading with them to bring those chains out. I don't know if they saw it from their angle that they had a better spot, but again, here it is, 4th and short.
They appear to go. They are 4 and 5, 4 for 5 on the season. That's 80%, and we'll see if it's the freeze play. And we've got another official stop. So Hamilton calls for the TO. I believe that's their last of this first half. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here for Week 5 here in the GMC, talking about the computer rankings which came out this week. The first computer rankings of 2021. Moeller is number 1. Surprise, surprise. They have the percentage advantage. A little bit more than a half a point over St. X, the defending state champs. Both are 4-0. They're playing against one another tonight. Milford is 3, followed by Lakota East, who this Hamilton Big Blue squad faced a week ago. And then number 5 is the team that we're also seeing tonight in Lakota West. That's a hefty back-to-back for the Big Blue.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, hefty back-to-back. And think about this, Jeff. Had they not had their games canceled, they would have gone Princeton, Lakota East, Lakota West. That's about as tough a 3-game schedule as you would ever see in the GMC going into this year. So, that again, the schedule doesn't help them out.
They're going to go, and the push forward, they may have enough. From the way that we're seeing the two the linesman and the line judge coming in from each side, they're going to move it automatically. It's no question a first down. They needed about a half a yard, and they got another full yard on top of that. With 4:09 frozen on the clock and a beauty of a sunset here in Hamilton. Coming up at halftime, we'll be joined by Hamilton Athletic Director Melissa Harvey. So we got a chance to talk with Missy back in Week 1 over at West Claremont, and she's not sick of us yet. Ware will throw on first down the sideline, incomplete. Some pushing down there. Elijah Givens getting tangled up on that near side, and we're trying to see if that was Fussell out there. Partner, I don't know if you got a better eye on it. 21, it was Fussell.
Yeah, it was him, and another great job there by that backfield for Lakota West, and they shut down a potent Princeton passing game last week, and obviously here tonight they have been able to absolutely dominate Hamilton so far in this first half.
2nd and 10 on the incompletion down the field, and the give, it goes to Johnson. Coming off the left side, has the edge for a moment, and picks up 4 yards on the play. And again, swarming to the ball, Lakota East, and this time it's Owen Kaufman, a reserve linebacker coming in, and he played very, very well in the second half a week ago.
Yeah, Owen was a fantastic player, and I think you're kind of seeing that future kind of pop up here now. Great job, and I think he's probably earned himself, getting in that starting rotation a little bit here in the first half. We haven't seen that yet this year.
6'1", 210 pounds, a senior, Owen Kaufman. 3rd and 7 after the pickup of 3. So we melt the clock on down towards 3 minutes. Roll right for Ware on the sprint draw. Now holding on to it and is driven down after a couple of yards. Really didn't have a ways to go. Alex Afari got in the way of the edge and really allowed the rest of his teammates to get back out there. And we see 32 out there. Again, Kaufman was close to that play again.
Yeah, Kaufman, a great job there by Alex Afari, sealing the edge like you said. That's, again, just kind of a tribute to when you have a player that has those long arms, long legs, and is able to do that. I've always compared him kind of a Sam Hubbard type player who played at Moeller, now playing for the Bengals right now. He was that lanky player. When you have that, you're able to keep contained very well, but also maintain leverage and keep everything inside out like he just did there.
So after they convert on 4th down, it's a punting situation for Kerry Ware. This one angled to the sideline. They don't want to give Brown anything on that one, and that one out of bounds, I think out towards the 26. Trying to see where the linesman out on that far sideline will have it. But it's a short punt, right around 25 yards, and it's 1st and 10 for Lakota West.
See what Lakota West can do here, right around the 2-minute mark left to go in the half. Right now they want to get more points on that board, go into halftime, up by 3 scores. That's what you're thinking right now if you're Coach Bolden and Coach Balchamp here to my left. Just trying to figure out a way to get down the field. You got to erase what happened last time because they had about 4 plays that were massively negative yards. So right now you want to figure out a way to how do I get points on the board out of this drive.
By the way, my partner just mentioned Jerry Beauchamp, who in his first year is the Lakota West offensive coordinator, his first year with the program. I'll tell you a little bit more about him after this play. 1st and 10. Bolden wants to throw on 1st down. Deep middle, out to the sideline, actually, and, well, they give him the catch. It looks like Brown out on the sideline. So Brown gets the reception there. Jerry Beauchamp had spent about 3 years as LaSalle's offensive coordinator when they were busy winning state championships. And then he had also coached over at UC just a little bit ago. He had come off a head coaching stint at Walnut Hills over the last 4 years. He had worked for Brian Kelly, by the way. And, partner, I don't know what you're seeing, but as I'm reading and taking it down here, but
I don't know what that was.
It's a penalty of some sort, so tack on. And they're going to move the ball up to the 47. So while you and I are busy looking at other things, things are happening on the field. Bolden back to pass on 1st down. Out to the sideline, complete. So Lloyd picks up the reception here on this one, and the passing game picking up here in the 2-minute drill.
Well, you see there that that's the way you're going to design this 2-minute drill. Get to the sideline, get to the boundary, get the ball to them, and get out of bounds.
Deep drop for Bolden on 1st down. Deep middle, and it is nearly picked off all over the 17-yard line. So he tried to play deep middle, but good zone coverage there by Hamilton. Lanny Ash, the defensive back/linebacker, out there in coverage.
Well, that's one thing you don't want to do in a 2-minute drill if you're Mitch Bolden is force something in there and create a turnover. You don't want to give Hamilton the momentum going into the second half. Even though you're up by 2 scores, you want to be methodical and very, cautious with your throws right now.
Bolden out to the sideline, complete. And again, it's Lloyd, a pickup of 9 on the play to bring up 3rd and very, very manageable. And if nothing else, you're on schedule, partner. You can run or pass here on 3rd down.
Absolutely. Now you're very manageable. You got a lot more options now on your call sheet for 3rd and 2, what you want to do here. So, again, being those manageable situations. Again, if I'm Coach Balchamp, I'm probably trying to melt some more time off here and try to just get that 1st down, give me a new fresh set of downs as I head into the red zone.
Twins to each side of Bolden. And a hard count from Mitch. And he'll run. He has the 1st down across the 20, out to the sideline, cuts back inside at the 15. 1st and 10, and again, Lakota West re-enters the Cincinnati Reds red zone. Big league moments, big league plays, and legendary vibes. Catch all the action at reds.com/tickets. And they go right to the line. Mitch will throw on 1st down, looking right, throwing right, and dropped right. Ben Minnick incomplete. Ben's a speedster on this team, and that's high praise on a team that also has Jair Brown on it.
I know, really. I mean, he's the 100-meter, track champion here at Lakota West. Right there, I think you might have been looking at the end zone a little too quickly on that one. You got to keep your eyes on the ball before you get to the end zone.
Minnick's in a slot to the right, and Bolden will throw on 2nd down, over the middle, touchdown! 27-7. So Lloyd finally gets in the end zone, and we've got a down Big Blue out at the 2.
Didn't quite see what the injury there was, but again, what a pass by Mitch Bolden here on the replay. I mean, just absolutely fires this one in there, sees the player on the slant. Great job, get upfield into the end zone. Another great, just accurate pass. And one thing that Coach Bolden talked about with Mitch, he's gotten better each and every week. He's a pitcher and a catcher in baseball. And one thing he was talking about in the offseason, he goes from pitching and catching on Saturdays and Sundays to then working out his arm as a quarterback during the week and week workouts during the summertime. Those are three very, very different motions. So, again, that is so impressive by Mitch Bolden to be able to come in there and throw with that type of accuracy. Just really in the last 2 drives is when he started really opening up the playbook and started throwing the ball around. But you see it, the way he's able to throw, and it's only gotten better each week. I think Mitch is really starting to get in his groove throwing the football right now. Kind of struggled there week 1, but each week he's gotten better. And, again, he's that anchor of the offense for Lakota West, and you just see it right there. Just incredibly impressive.
So the down big blue was Andrew Huff. He's obviously, as you can see, coming back under his own power. 27-7 on the first of the year by Trent Lloyd. And it's number 7 as far as touchdown passes by Mitch Bolden. And one of the things that Tom Bolden, his head coach, and I think probably more importantly his dad, had mentioned to us in the postgame wrap-up a week ago is that he really is finding his way as a dual-threat quarterback.
Yeah, and that's so important. In today's world, that's a huge part of the game. No longer is the quarterback just going to sit back there and throw the ball around. He's going to be a big part, and you see that across the game of football on all levels. Really, you see it from the NFL to the college, and now down to the high school level. You even see it on the Hamilton side with Kerry Ware. He has that dual threat capability. We saw that in week 1.
8-play drive, 72 yards. It takes 55 seconds off the clock. It's the touchdown pass from Bolden to Lloyd. The extra point's good, 28-7 here at the Schwarm this evening in the first home game of the year for the Big Blue. Not the way they wanted to start things off. In fact, Nate Mahan and, for that matter, J.D. Vonderheide, the offensive coordinator, wanted to see the offense obviously get on the board a little bit more quickly with Caleb Johnson being the focal point. That hasn't been the case so far.
Well, they've been stuck in that same third and long situation, 3rd and +6 all night long. And that's tough to call plays and get positive motion going, or in other words, get on schedule with your offense. That's really hard to do when you're constantly sitting back there. Right now, an adjustment, right now they just got to sustain a drive if you're Hamilton. That's got to be the name of the game coming out of halftime, or even right here. You get a drive and get down the field and get points out of this possession one way or another.
Jalen Garrett and Elijah Givens. And this one, a little dumper over the middle, a scrum for it at the 43. And will this belong to Hamilton? It will. So Lakota West trying to catch the Big Blue napping on the kickoff play. But it's going to be good field position for the Big Blue in the 2-minute drill with 1:18 to go till halftime.
Interesting there, special teams coordinator for a couple years at Loveland High School. And right there, when in that type of situation, when I'm always telling my guys in the front, fair catch it. Do not go and try and field that football, because most of those guys, they're not used to doing that. That's not their everyday thing. They're usually linebackers, fullbacks who are on your front line on your kickoff return team. So in that type of situation, the coaching moment right there is fair catch the ball. Fair catch it. Don't let anybody get in front of you. Fair catch it. You should practice that, every single Thursday, those short little choppy kicks to the front line. So, again, worked out well for Hamilton. It could have gone, though, the wrong way very quickly, which is not what you wanted to have happen. But, again, probably some of the best starting field position they've seen all night.
Ware operates out of the gun, twins to each side of them, and Johnson in the backfield. Change the play at the line. Against the 3-3-5 defense that Lakota West is showing off these days, they motion Johnson, who was not in the backfield, and they'll be the keeper by Ware, who gains about a yard. Fussell, the last man to touch him before he went to the ground. Henderson was out there, too, and I think we have a timeout.
Yeah, I believe Coach Bolden took another timeout for Lakota West. So what that tells me right there, Coach Bolden wants that football back. Coach Bolden wants to put more points up on that board, so that's why you take that timeout right there, even though you're up by 3 scores. Again, he wants his Lakota West team to take the next step as a powerhouse in Cincinnati. So that's what he wants to have happen right here. He wants to get the football back in the hands of his quarterback and get him back into the weapons of that offense for Lakota West.
2nd and 9 when we come out of the timeout. Coming up at halftime, we'll talk with Missy Harvey, the athletic director here at Hamilton High School. I think we're trying to make talking with athletic directors a habit here on these Chatterbox Plus airwaves. We got a chance to talk with Scott Kaufman, the athletic director over at Lakota West a week ago. A protracted conversation. I think that was I don't say encouraged, but when Isaiah Myers got injured out on that far sideline for Princeton, we had a little longer halftime. And, of course, when you got a guy as good as Scott who will talk about athletics, not just within his own school, but in terms of Ohio High School Athletic Association at large, he's a good man to talk to. So Ware will keep out of the timeout as he skirts by a man and goes to the 49-yard line. Aiden Miller to wrap him up.
Another timeout by Lakota West. Coach Bolden wants that football back. Again, right now, this is about some of the best field position Hamilton's had all year long. If I'm Coach Vonderheide here, I'm thinking about, honestly, I'm probably not going to get the football back in this half. I might take a shot downfield on this one here. I don't know. It's a tough situation. You got a team that's down 3 scores. You're trying to get some positive momentum going into halftime. Right now you kind of got to throw the rule book out of the game and just see what your gut says.
A minute 4. Both teams have no timeouts to carry with them into halftime. They're going to empty out the backfield for Elijah Givens out of the Wildcats. So run for the Big Blue here coming on up as Givens will take it off the right side as he cuts forth close to a first down, out past the 50, down to about the 47. We'll see where the spot is. Brian Henderson near the bottom of that pile. And Aiden Miller, whose name that we've enjoyed calling defensively, but he has an offensive touchdown, a 2-yard scamper back earlier in this half.
It looks like we're going to get a measurement here. Now, if you come up short, I think you got to go for it, right? I mean, you got to, especially now that you've literally got the best field position you've seen all night. So you got to take advantage of it, even though you only got 40 seconds left to go in the half.
Well, partner, I'm going to see if I can play devil's advocate to you.
Okay.
So if you're 4th and short, why not go ahead and pin Lakota West back to a point inside their own 10 if you got a good punt? And really make it very unattractive for the Firebirds to go 90-plus to get a score.
And, that's exactly probably the conversation that Coach Vonderheide and Coach Mahan are having out there. What do we do? What are we feeling right now? Do we have confidence in our offense to go put a play and put points up on the board or to get the first down? Or do we want to pin it on our defense? I will say this. That punting unit for Hamilton tonight has struggled mightily. So... again, you're weighing all those things. Lakota West has absolutely dominated them up front on that punting unit. So again, I'm going to be interested to see what the decision right now is.
And we just got a message from Ed Lloyd, who is paying attention to us. And we imagine a lot of the Lakota West faithful are paying attention to us lately, especially on the road. You and I were kind of bemused, in fact, just how many times between you, myself, and young Mr. Kyle Decker last year, how many times we got to see West in the last few years? 8 times now. Today is 8 times in the last 10 games.
That's mighty impressive.
Well, that's a lot of familiarity with one team.
Absolutely.
But Ed had passed along happy birthday wishes to his son Trent, so the desire to see him get a touchdown today is palpable. They're going to go for it on 4th down, and it's complete out to the near side, out to the 42-yard line. So you were right, partner, as the ball went to Breon Ishmael. And that's exactly who you wanted to get the ball to, but they're going to see if they can score here with 10 left to go. Ball's in the hands of Ware, who will sit down over at the 48-yard line. Elijah Davis, the super sophomore off the left side, will get the sack. And that's the half.
I'll tell you what, that's not what you wanted if you're Hamilton there, but my goodness, what a play there by Elijah, and just a great half by Lakota West.
An amazing first half bit of dominance on the ground behind a big, strong offensive line for visiting Lakota West. They got 3 rushing touchdowns here in this half, and they go into the locker room 28-7. With the lead here in this one so far. And, by the way, getting Trent Lloyd a touchdown, he did get that touchdown, so happy birthday to Trent today. He got one here in the first half. Coming up here in about a minute, we've got Missy Harvey, the athletic director here at Hamilton. 28-7 here at the half. Hamilton will get the ball out of the halftime break, and the second half kickoff powered by Cintas. Over 1 million businesses rely on Cintas, so get Cintas and get ready for the workday. And away we go here in half number 2 from the Schwarm. Ball angled left, the pitch back, it goes to Caleb Johnson, angles left, out towards the 20. Head full of steam out towards the sideline. And a good return for Hamilton to start 1st and 10.
Caleb Johnson with the return for Hamilton.
Interesting on the flip back to Johnson on that. I've never liked doing that just because you create hesitation. You know, you have the kickoff team, the opposing kickoff team, more time to get downfield and cover the football. Never been a big fan of that pitch back, but again, you got to get the ball in your playmakers, and obviously Caleb Johnson is the big one for Hamilton.
Well, he had a 90-yarder called back in week 1. You and I were all excited about it, especially since that one has a parallel to this one. That opened up half number 2, and that got called back on a penalty at midfield. So 1st and 10 for Kerry Ware, who was 1 of 3 passing in the first half for just 5 yards. Not real opportunities, as this one goes to Johnson. Off right tackle, has a few yards, actually maybe 2 on that play. Running behind that right side where Hayden Renner is the right tackle.
Hayden Renner, again, big bodies up front there for Hamilton. But, again, the push by the offensive line has just not been there tonight for Hamilton. Here they are in a 2nd and long situation. So see what they do here. You got to get this into a 3rd and manageable shot and get out of that funk that they've been in and being in those 3rd and long situations.
As we talked about in the halftime, the disparity in total yards is stark. Single wides on each side, where to throw on 2nd down, and the comeback route intended for Breon Ishmael. Nothing doing, it's incomplete out towards the sideline. Jair Hollywood Brown on the defense.
Yeah, just a poor pass there by Kerry Ware. Just, obviously did not hit the numbers where he needed to put that ball. We saw him in week 1. He can throw the football, and he can throw it with accuracy. He has some, he can place the football in the right spot. Unfortunately, for Hamilton, they just have not been able to get an identity offensively yet here tonight in order for him to really spread it around.
3rd down coming on up. The run play, and it's 3 and out. So the quarterback keeping it there as Tyler Sparnell out of his linebacker spot, the first one to meet him.
Tyler Sparnell and then Jacob Asbeck as well back in there, getting himself in there. That's another kid that we've talked about early on that saw his playing time only increase in these last few weeks for Lakota West.
If you recall, a week ago, he had a very nice game, 7 tackles. So ball's at the 25-yard line, and it's a punting situation. Where to punt. He did get one blocked back in the first half. This one picked up at the 45. Brown reverses field up the middle, down to the 35, to the 20, 10, goodbye! 55 yards on the return, 6 more on the board for West. 34-7. Mercy.
Well, there it is. You see the speed of Jair Brown just absolutely running all over the place. I mean, you see it on the replay right now. Picks up the ball off the one hop, starts going to the left, whoop, then plants his foot, gets right upfield, and then just turns on the jets. Jeff, look at him go down the sideline. Just outpowers everybody, and that's what you get. He's so dynamic. When you have those abilities to be able to see where the holes are, the vision, and then that speed, oh my goodness, he's really the complete football player. And it's, again, really anxious to see what he's going to do here in a couple years in Columbus.
Is that your candidate for the headlines play of the night?
I'll tell you what, right there, that was impressive. That was mightily impressive, and so far, absolutely.
Hannah Duncan on the kick. Now, the one thing that we've started to get familiar with Lakota West in the kicking game, if it's the right footer, it's Hannah Duncan, and she powers it through 35-7 with 10-11 left to go. Mercy.
10-11 remaining in the third quarter. Their score, Lakota West.
Yeah,
so the biggest lead of the ballgame. Go ahead, partner.
No, all I was going to say there is, again, Lakota West just pouring it on, and Coach Bolden early on in the week talked about taking that next step as a football team. you got to complete these type of games, and so far they have here tonight. Outside of that one drive there towards the end where they kind of fudge some things up there, I'll tell you what, it's been dominant from left to right, up, down for Lakota West on offense all night long, and now they're able to do it on special teams. They had the block punt earlier in the first half, and now, the punt return there by Jair Brown. So, again, a complete game, and I think this is what Coach Bolden was talking about, taking that next step as a program.
Well, they've been impressive tonight on all facets. Offense, defense, and now special teams. And something that you normally don't see in any ball game, and we've seen it here tonight, partner, is kick returns by both teams for scores.
Yeah, very interesting there. And again, that's something that Coach Bolden will look at and go, hey, all right, we gotta figure this out right now, because again, the schedule does not get any easier for Lakota West going down the stretch.
Long traditional kick, a short one out at the 18. Return man Givens out to the 25, and he is knocked down by Afari at the 23-yard line.
Whew. Alex Afari, I'll tell you what, he can do it all. And I think one thing you see here is the amount of dual threats that Lakota West has. Alex Afari, Ben Minnick, Jair Brown, all these guys that can play both ways throughout the game. I mean, when you're able to do that, Geoff, that is just, it makes life as a coach actually pretty darn easy.
Absolutely. It's not every day that you're blessed with having 4-star talent. And when you have that on two sides of the ball, in the case of Tom Bolden, life is pretty good.
Yeah.
The defense, not special teams, but the defense is pitching a shutout tonight. And this would be their second straight. And the give goes to Johnson. He is strung out. Afari, the first to meet him. He reverses field, looking for a block. Gets one. Finds the corner. Flag on the play. Out to the 34. So what should have been a loss is a pickup of 10 pending the penalty. And Caleb Johnson still on the ground, a little slow to get up.
Yeah, hopefully he gets up. Man, yeah, it looks like they're going to call the training staff out. Great job by Alex Afari on that play. Maintain and contain on that front side, but they lost it on the backside. That's where you got to be maintained and settle down if you're that backside defensive end for Lakota West. And, man, hopefully it's just a cramp. That's what it looks like it is.
Well, and if you recall in week one, when he scored his third touchdown of the night, it was a 40-yarder to our left. I believe it was the south side of the end zone over at West Claremont. He came up gimpy at the end and did what looked like a push-up, and I thought initially, and when we watched it live, it looked like a celebration. He was just simply trying to stretch out that calf or that hamstring, and he's still on the ground here, and it's going to be interesting to see how many reps he can get for the rest of the game, because it is still a hot night. We had game time temperatures at 84 degrees. I know we've cooled off a little bit, but there's really, at least there's no breeze coming into the press box. I don't know if there's a breeze outdoors. But there's no breeze coming into the press box. We can only assume that the wind is still, and it is still quite humid out there.
I mean, just looking at that flag to our left, I mean, it is dead still right now. And, week 5, and, normally right now you start seeing it get a little bit cooler, starting to kind of taper that down. But, that's the one thing where no matter what, you got to maintain hydration. But, again, it's tough out there tonight. If we're sweating up here, I can only imagine what it's like down there for those guys.
Partner, while we have a moment, and we did talk about this in the week while we were prepping for this ball game, one of the things that we wanted to mention was something that we'll bring into our broadcast for the rest of the season, a notion of a top 3. We started out with the notion of a top 3 quarterback in the GMC, whether it's a player that we've seen or not. Who's your top 3?
Well, right now you got to look at Lakota East and TJ Kathman. We saw him a couple weeks ago, and his dual threat ability in that inside veer triple option run that they have. And that offense, I think, you got to account for him everywhere. I think one of my keys to the game that week was you got to stop on every single play. And we'll get back to the other guys here. We'll just keep rolling with it.
Well, we'll reset here. First down at the 17-yard line. There's a penalty on the play. If you remember, at the beginning of the play where it looked like maybe Afari was knocked down from behind. Where will look to throw on first down, and now he's looking downfield. Home run down the sideline. It is complete out at the 45-yard line. Breon Ishmael with a long gainer. A pickup of 38.
Jair Brown just honestly kind of turned at the wrong time. He turned a little bit early and kind of turned the wrong way in coverage. Actually had really good coverage on him here. You'll go to the replay right now. Really good coverage by Jair. He just kind of turns his shoulders at the wrong time, and then a great pass by Kerry Ware to put it on the money right there. And now, really some of the best field position outside of that last drive in the first half for Hamilton.
So against the double team, I thought it was Minnick who was a little closer to him out on the sideline. But in any case, it's first down and the give to the running back, or actually the quarterback keeping, off the right side, and it's a rugby scrum for a couple of yards. So in lieu of running Caleb Johnson, who did come off under his own power, and as we see him down there on the sideline, out of view, he is trying to stretch out a bit, but it looks like he'll come back at some point in this game.
Yeah, anytime you get that type of cramp, and I don't know if you've ever had, a lower body cramp, it is really awkward.
I'm old.
Yeah. Not that much, Jeff, come on. But no, it is a really awkward feeling to have, and it's something that you just kind of got to work out. Now you can see he's doing that on the sideline right now.
Ware is split out to the left, and it's the Wildcat for Givens. Off the left side, has the edge, turns the corner out to the 35, and has the first down. So even when you know the Wildcats coming, you have to give credit to the offensive line. Big Derek Deaton at 330 out on that left side set the corner.
Derek Deaton set the corner there, but I'll tell you what, a great block by Kerry Ware, the quarterback. On that left side, he maintained his block and was able to, have him create that lane to get that big gain. So now Hamilton got to capitalize off of this here.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line, and Givens has been a threat no matter where you put him, offensively or defensively. He's split out to the top of your screen, to the left of the quarterback as Lakota West shows blitz. And the give to the tailback off the right side. Was it Johnson who came back in for the yard? As we take a look, as Asback came up and stopped him. So, yeah, it is Johnson who's back into the ball game.
Ripley, the ball carrier.
Oh, and it's Ripley, beg your pardon.
Yeah, he's still down here on the sideline getting stretched out for that cramp. Again, if you're Hamilton right now, you got to be thinking positive. Okay, if I'm J.D. Vonderheide, what plays can I get in the end zone with? What can I get down there and put my team in a position to get points right now?
So Johnson wears 2. Ripley wears 12. I saw the 2. 5'8", 175 pounds of senior. You would think the size disparity would have gotten me, but instead it's second down. Ware will throw on second down. The home run down the sideline. It is picked off at the 2-yard line. And again, another big interception for the Lakota West defense here in the last few weeks. Josh Fussell, for the second straight week, picks one off.
Yeah, Josh just had to play center field there, really. An underthrown ball by Kerry Ware, just in great position. Fussell was to make that play, smart to go down. It looks like they might have spotted that. I thought he might have caught it in the end zone for a touchback, but they're going to place it right at the 1-foot line, it looks like.
Well, it is forward progress, right? The ball did not actually carry him into the end zone.
Okay.
He did catch it in play. So 99 yards to go, and if you're Tom Bolden, this is a good situation for you. You've got a big lead. You can work on some things.
Yeah. Coach Boucham to our left here, I'm sure, he's got his plays dialed up, what he wants to do here. You're going to bring it in tight now, protect that rock. Doesn't want to give up anything, a sack or anything like that right now when you're on that 1-foot line.
So first and 10 out at the 1. Bolden's actually under center here in this formation. The give on the counter out the right side, and it does give him a little room out there behind Lathan McComas.
Cameron Good is the ball carrier for the Firebirds.
So Good picks up good yardage, and he's crossed the century mark.
Yeah, Cameron Good has been so impressive here tonight. That's exactly what you want in that situation right there. Pick up a 5, give yourself some breathing room. Now it opens up the playbook a little bit.
Another running play as they get close, and again, they're on the notion of being on schedule. It'll be up third and short. Actually, they're going to move the chains.
Great push, and we've talked about him all night, but Tony Curtis, the center for Lakota West, has just been phenomenal right now. With Mitch Bolden under center, kind of a little different here. We haven't seen this much tonight.
Good gets the ball again off the right side. Has a couple of yards on that, and if nothing else, they're really in a position, much like they were in the first period, to soak up a lot of clock, run the ball, and continue to melt the clock down and make this a very short game and make Hamilton face 2 opponents.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and you're hit the nail on the head right there. I mean, when you're running the ball like they have, 148 yards in the first half for Lakota West, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So that's what I'm doing right now. But now, look, they went from being really tight and compact, now they're spreading it back out again.
Well, now that they've got room to breathe. Bolden will throw, and it's complete out that far side. Receiver taking it for a first down. So Ben Minnick gets the reception. I think that's his first of the night.
What a player, Ben Minnick. I mean, we've talked about his speed all night, and we really haven't seen it yet, and they really haven't needed it.
Picked up with 6.
With the way Cameron Good's been running the football, they just had no reason to throw the ball deep downfield, but he's that deep threat that they have.
Triples at the bottom of your screen. We'll see if they air it out on first down. And it's off the hands of Bolden, and we saw that back in the first period on a fumble, a misconnection that time back in the first on a mesh point fumble. Here it's just off the hands of Bolden, so a little bit slippery with the hands, but I'm guessing it's the humidity here tonight.
It could have been that. It could have been that, he I don't know what their cadence looks like, but it looked like he maybe wasn't expecting the ball at that time, or maybe he saw something. Nonetheless, again, here's an interesting, see what they do here to get back on schedule.
2nd and 10. Hamilton initially showing blitz, and Bolden will throw on 2nd down. It's a little screen out to the far side. And a great job, a second effort for good. Out past the 40 to the 45-yard line. It should have been a 2-yard gain. He turns it into 20.
My goodness. I mean, Geoff, what a play by this kid. I mean, his ability to continue and keep those feet turning like a train. You know what I mean? Most athletes would have just kind of, stopped their feet right there, take the sack, or take the tackle, excuse me. My goodness, what he does is it's amazing what he does in the backfield.
Looking to throw on first down, and now runs out of time, rolls to the right. It is incomplete out at the 40-yard line. So a drop for Richardson to bring up 2nd down. With 4:41 left to go here in this third, 35-7 after some fireworks to open up this second half by Hollywood Brown on a 55-yard punt return.
Yeah, all around, right now, just like you said, they're methodically moving the ball down the field. They're putting themselves in good position. Hamilton, right now they're just kind of getting pummeled, especially at the line of scrimmage. So, right now you're trying to do anything in your bag of tricks if you're Hamilton to try and stop this offense for Lakota West, but they haven't been able to do it all night.
Lloyd's in space. He picks up 7 on the run play. The birthday boy gets positive yards. We want to thank Dad Ed for communicating with us here tonight. The birthday boy, Trent, did get a touchdown back in the first half. Touchdown pass from Bolden, deep in the second. And the keeper for Bolden slides initially off a man and cannot get past Verdon. So Trey Verdon, the freshman defensive lineman, got him initially. It looked like for a moment Bolden was going to be able to shake him off. No dice, a gain of a yard.
Yeah, Breenan Ishmael also in on that play as well. Just great penetration there for Hamilton. They got to do it again here on 4th and short.
4th and 2. They'll go. Looking right, throwing right, complete to the right to Lloyd. He's got the first down. The birthday boy gets 5.
Another catch for him, and just a great play call there by Coach Bauer Champion in this Lakota West offense. Just a really methodical, smart play. They're not trying to do too much. And what are they doing? Just like Coach Bolden said, they're being Lakota West right now, getting the ball out into their players in space.
We have an official stop and a down, big blue player. I think it's for Don. And again, the case of the cramps rearing its head. We saw it with Caleb Johnson a little bit ago. And also coming to the sideline is Caden Bennett. And he's a little gimpy, but he looks to be okay. But Ishmael at center field, for the lack of a better way to put it, or on the dance floor, as we were told during the half by Melissa Harvey, the athletic director at Hamilton, they're going to have homecoming out on the field in a few weeks.
You know, that's funny you say that. We actually did that same thing at Loveland. It was a huge success. I mean, it was awesome, you know, to have all the kids be able to spread out, have some space. You're not compacted into a tight gym and everything. So, yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. It was a huge success at Loveland for us.
Want to revisit the top three that we didn't get a chance to finish. You talked about Kathman, who we saw a couple weeks ago, and he's been great. Only missing 2 throws coming into tonight in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I think the offense that they run really complements his ability in that dual threat. You know, and then my second is Mitch Bolden. We see him here tonight, and he continues to get better week in and week out. Coming out of baseball, getting his arm into that quarterback throwing motion, you know, that takes time, Jeff, that you got to wheel and do. And if you look at what he did just from the stat sheet alone in week 1 versus St. X to where he is just last week, I mean, night and day different. He just continues to get better. And then number 3, you know, you got to talk about Jackson Schreiber for Oak Hills. 709 passing yards so far. We haven't seen him yet, but, you know, anybody who's able to throw that many yards throughout the year, or so far just in the first 5 weeks, you know, he's doing something right over there for Oak Hills.
Well, you and I have not been able to see him in person, though I believe Alex Gray a couple weeks ago covered the Lakota West Oak Hills game, and we got a chance to see Schreiber in that one. Bolden to throw, stacked up, now rolls out of traffic and gains positive yards. It looked like he was going to take a loss. Instead, he matriculates the ball down the field for a couple, and a little frustration from Verdon, who's a little slow to get up.
Yeah, you know, just frustrated on that play. Great job by Mitch Bolden. Again, you know, we were just talking about kind of his dual threat capability that he has. And again, you kind of see it right there. He's able to extend plays as a quarterback, whether it's on the ground or through the air. Whenever you're able to do that and keep the ball alive, right there, now you're in a positive situation on second down.
12th play of the drive. So we move the clock under 3 to go here in this third. They fake the end around, and now it's a little bubble screen. It's incomplete. Ball was a little short for Lloyd, though he had a convoy out in front of him. It would have been interesting to see if he could have gotten to the sideline. Incomplete.
Yeah, you know, great job by Trey Verdon getting in there and causing disruption on that screenplay. You know, he forced Mitch Bolden to throw a bad pass there. Anytime that you're able to do that on a screenplay, you know, that's huge. But you're right. Would have been really interesting because he had a massive convoy out there of blockers.
On third down, Bolden will throw, looking right, now looking left, throwing left, wide open, his receiver. And Richardson takes it out just outside the 20. It's a first down. Richardson was all by himself, nobody within 10 yards of him.
Absolutely, and just great job to make a play and get upfield by Dwayne Richardson. You know, another fantastic weapon that Mitch Bolden has. Another great pass by Mitch Bolden. Now they're on the move yet again.
Pickup of 18 on the play, 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line. And keep in mind, this drive started at the 1. Single wide to the bottom of your screen, that's Minnick. Triples to the top. Bolden will throw on first down. Looking deep middle, throwing deep middle, it's nearly picked off. Intended for the birthday boy, Lloyd, and off the hands of the defensive back at the 5-yard line.
Well, we had Trent Lloyd open early. He threw that ball way too late and gave time for the linebacker to sit there and make a play on it. He's got to throw that ball and see that quicker. He does that. He's talking about 6 points in the end zone for Lloyd.
2:12 frozen on the clock. This drive started over 5 minutes ago. 7:20 was on the clock when they took over on the interception. And it's been 5 minutes and 8 seconds and counting. We see 30 in the backfield. It is Gonzalez Jr. And he'll reposition to the right of the quarterback, Bolden. And now we've got a flag on the play. Did they run out of time? We see double zeros up on the play clock. So you have a good drive going, and if you're Tom Bolden and Jerry Beauchamp, for that matter, the offensive coordinator, you don't want to see it short-circuited on a penalty due to delay of game.
Oh, it always amazes me, Jeff. You know, you got these huge play clocks in the end zone staring the quarterback right in the face. You know, in my opinion, that's so frustrating. It's like, hey, man, it's right in front of you. Snap the football.
2nd and 15. Bolden will throw, and it's a screen to the left side. Actually, he'll keep, beg your pardon, he faked the throw and kept it out across the 25, down officially to the 21-yard line. So a good pickup for Bolden to make up third and manageable when we got another down, Hamilton Big Blue. And again, the big-time heat in the middle of September when you're typically thinking about mid-60s into 70-degree weather, and the fact that we've been stuck in the 80s into the 90s in the last few days has caused a lot of this cramping that we're seeing out on the field tonight. Yeah,
it's tough out there. It's really tough, and it's tough to maintain that type of hydration. You hit the nail on the head. Normally right now we're it's a very cool 60 degrees with maybe a light breeze flowing in. That's anything but tonight right now. So again, that's just something that you're going to have to kind of try and work through. If you're Hamilton, right now it's 74 degrees out there. I mean, that is awfully warm right now with, 88% humidity. I mean, I'm no weatherman, but, yeah, that's a hot one out there, Jeff.
As we had talked about back even as early as week 1, time to get some high-quality H2O into your body.
Very much so.
Let's reset here. Along with Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. Thanks for joining us here in Week 5 of the GMC on Chatterbox Sports. The plus category, if you will, out on your app here tonight. Our videographers are Alex McClary and Maddie Morris. Our production twins, Kevin Miller and Zach Teeters, joining us here for Week 5 here in this football season. Partner, I'm just thinking through with this as we are 2 minutes away from ending the third, and with one more period left to go after that, we will be halfway through the regular season. How fast has it gone for you?
Oh, my goodness. It's a blink of an eye, and I kind of forgot how quick it does run. Being out of coaching for 7+ years, getting back into it. I mean, it's like in the blink of an eye, Jeff. It's unbelievable. It's like, poof, we're here. I thought it was. It's still like deja vu. I thought we were just seeing this Hamilton Blue team in Week 1 against West Claremont, and now here we are at the midway point throughout the season. Looking more further down the road. I gotta talk about that Lakota West Lakota East game here in about a couple weeks. That one's looking more and more interesting.
The injured party is JoJo Baker, listed as a quarterback, 6 foot tall, 225 pounds, just a sophomore. So he is obviously a multi-positional athlete, as are a lot of these big blue players. I mean, obviously, we talk about Breon Ishmael, who plays on both sides. He'll play wide receiver. In fact, he had the lone catch for the Big Blue back in the first half. So as we come out of the injury timeout, 3rd and 9 out at the 21-yard line as we move the clock under 2. Dummy count, hard count, and now Bolden gets looking to pass with time. Now rolls out of time, and I think he'll keep it now. Out to the sideline, cuts towards the sideline some more. He has the first down out of the 12-yard line. He needed to pick it up out of about the 12 or 13-yard line. The marker's right between it. I think he has a 12.
Firebirds, he is tackled by West.
Well, I'll tell you what, great job there by the free safety Andrew Huff and Mario Edwards for the Big Blue, shutting down those passing lanes and the receivers for Lakota West, forcing Mitch Bolden to, hey, if you're going to gain a first down, you're going to have to do it on the ground. But again, another fantastic job by Mitch, getting the vision and getting that first down.
I got a stoppage here with 1:21 left to go. And a timeout charge to the Big Blue. And given the number of cramps that we've had here in this ballgame, especially from the side of the Big Blue, this is a wise timeout.
Yeah, just you got to take it, settle down. I mean, they've gone 99 yards. Unbelievable right now what they've been able to do on this drive alone for Lakota West. So, yeah, take a timeout, regroup, settle your guys down, get them hydrated, get some water in. Again, this is frustrating if you're Coach Mahan, but again, this is really kind of their, week 2, if you will. After playing week 1, had the COVID protocol or had to cancel 2 games. So again, this is just one of those things where it's kind of they're in that week 2 mode still.
Want to say hello to Matt Grimes over at Headlines, who shares an office with Chatterbox Sports, our parents here, if you will. So Matt's part of that crew over at Headlines, and he had sent me out a tweet today, and it's a beautiful looking picture where you see a basketball on fire and a basketball player with a headband on. Looks like he's going up to jam it, and behind you, and this is something that we can confirm with Bailey Osborne, who's part of that group, the words "Dunk you very much," which is my signature call during basketball, is out there. The throw out of the timeout for Lloyd to the goal line, just short. I think we have first and goal.
Yeah.
They're going to call him just short out on that sideline.
I mean, he is just short. I was sitting here waiting for the official. I looked like he might have gotten to the pylon from our angle. Just hard to see. But, yeah, it looks like they're going to be first and goal on about the 6-inch line maybe.
First and goal.
That's about where it is.
Ripley was the man who stopped him from getting in to the end zone for yet another touchdown tonight. First and goal. Hard count. They give to the goal line. Touchdown. 41-7.
Carried by Udis Gonzalez.
So Gonzalez gets into the end zone for the first time this year. 41-7 Mercy.
First touch there for Gonzalez, and I mean, just what an impressive drive there by Lakota West. I mean, that's exactly what you wanted to see. Start at literally the 1 yard line, they get it all the way down to the 1-inch line, and then go in for the rushing touchdown like they have all night long. And if you're Hamilton, that just demoralizes you on defense. I mean, 99-yard drive, just unbelievable.
The point after by Bond is good. He's been splitting duties with Hannah Duncan. And it's 42-7 as Bond and Duncan now have 3 apiece. Get this on the drive summary and see if you're going to be impressed. This may be the drive of the year. That drive soaked up 6 minutes and 18 seconds, which is an eternity in high school football. Not the most impressive part of that drive. That drive chewed up all 99 yards on 18 plays.
I'll tell you what, that we in the coaching world, we call that clinic tape. All right, that stuff you're going to take around to the clinics in the offseason and show them. That's just impressive. I mean, great job by the man to my left, Jerry Bouchamp, coming over, from Walnut Hills as the head coach, and really kind of, took Tom Bolden's baby. Tom Bolden had called plays for his entire career. This is the first year that he has not called plays. Great trust in Jerry Bouchamp to come in there and say, hey, here are the keys to the offense. Do your thing. And so far they have. I mean, week in and week out, they're so dynamic on offense. They can run, they can pass, they have the weapons to do it. When you have guys like Alex Safari, Jair Brown, they can, those dual threats. No matter what, you run them on the jet sweep, you put them in the backfield, you put them out wide. They're all over the place, and he's done a great job managing the talent. That's one really tough thing to do as an offensive coordinator, is to manage talent like this when you have so many good players.
Sparno will kick off from his own 40. It's a short end-over-end kick taken by Givens out at the 17. Off his hands, he got it back, reverses field, and is knocked down at the 15-yard line. Was that a far again? No, that's 11. That's Asbeck. Jacob Asbeck, who's been phenomenal the last couple of weeks. 5'11", 170 pounds, just a sophomore. And the future is bright and stays bright for that defensive backfield for Lakota West.
Well, and when you look at what Lakota West had last year, and the amount of players that they lost, and then bringing on, new defensive coordinator Tyler Halls, and then when you're able to go get Cole Rain's former defensive coordinator Phil Joseph and bring them in, Coach Bolden talked about combining those two minds. I mean, you're seeing it on the defensive side here tonight for Lakota West.
We officially have a running clock as we melt things down, and we will head to a fourth. 42-7 here in Week 5 from the Schwarm. Back with fourth here on Chatterbox Plus. 12 more minutes from the Schwarm tonight, 42-7. It's been Lakota West from the get-go, starting off with a couple of touchdown runs by Cameron Good, and they have tacked on since through the air with multiple players. Uedes Gonzalez capped off a 99-yard drive with a 1-yard plunge, and we're at 42-7. The pitch back, and nowhere to go. Sparnell out of his linebacker spot, the first one to get there.
I mean, he's been all over the field tonight. I mean, the whole defense as a whole has just been playing, just incredibly impressive here tonight. It looks like we got another cramp for Hamilton. But, another player that we've talked about, Trey Verdon, he's been in all over the field for Lakota West tonight. His brother Malik out at Iowa State. He's being recruited by Iowa State. Jeff, interesting Ohio connection between Iowa State and just the state of Ohio. Matt Campbell, the head coach at Iowa State, big Massillon guy. Went to Massillon Perry High School, just an all-around Ohio guy. In fact, when I was student coaching at Bowling Green, he was our offensive line coach. Used to go get him lunch, and now he's, big-time, head coach, and really their whole coaching staff. They have John Haycock as their defensive coordinator. Jim Haycock was Jim Tressel's defensive coordinator when they won the national championship in 2002, just all over the place. And then their, offensive coordinator, Tom Manning as well. He's from Youngstown. Both he and Matt Campbell played at Mount Union, the dominant, football team in Division III outside of Canton. So again, just that's an interesting connection that you see, especially with that connection now with Lakota West, or Trey Verdon, might be following his brother out to Iowa State, here in the Big 12, and we might see them come play UC now in a couple years now that they're in the Big 12.
So we see not one but two Big Blue out on the field getting stretched out. I think one of them is JoJo Baker, who did come out back in the third with cramps. So you would think now that he's gone down with the second set of cramps that he's done for the night. Haven't seen the other one. We're obscured by trainers and trying to figure out who that is. Partner, while we have some time, let's talk through the computer rankings.
Yeah, taking a look at these computer rankings, and, this year, very different than years past. 16 teams make the playoffs. So really right now, if you look at Division I, only one team in the rankings will not make the playoffs this year. So, looking at kind of from top to bottom, you got Moeller St. X. That game right now, last time I checked, I believe St. X had put on another score. So it'd be that's 30 to 14 or 30 to 12 right now down at Nippert Stadium. And then, right down the list, Milford is the one, you look at the schedule and who they've played. They got the computer points from a couple teams that they beat early on in the year. And then, you got Lakota East, Lakota West, Princeton, and Colerain, really, and Mason, right, all in there. One team that I want to mention, the GMC, we really haven't talked a lot about, but I know him pretty well, is Sycamore. Coach Totillo there, he and I coached in an all-star game back in 2011 together. You want to talk about a very smart football coach who knows how to get his team to play. Really, the parity in the GMC from top to bottom this year is going to be really interesting down the stretch, Jeff, how these teams fare.
So JoJo Baker out of the lineup, and same with Caleb Johnson. Here's Ware to pass, roll right, now flushed and sacked all the way back to the 9-yard line. Was that the fabulous sophomore again? So Sparnall gets credit for the sack.
Just snuffed that one out from start to finish. He just blew up that entire left side of the Hamilton offensive line, able to get in there, make a big play. And yet again, here it is. And this is what Hamilton's been in all night long. These third and just really unmanageable situations for their offense.
3rd and 17 from the 9-yard line. We'll see if they stay conservative or if they try to break one here to get something going on offense. Ware rolling out of the pocket, throws, and it's nearly picked off. I mean, that was gift wrapped out on that far sideline.
He had Hassan Robinson, the tight end, wide open there, and he just kind of delayed in getting him the football. Had he gotten there, he would have been able to make that yardage up and possibly, who knows, gets a first down. Just an errant throw there by Kerry Ware.
Miles Bukhari, who's a backup defensive back, had it in his basket, and nobody was in front of him. At least nobody of the opposing jersey color was in front of him.
That was an easy pick six there.
Where will kick? It's a high kick. Minnick will be set to return, and this one takes a Lakota West bounce as it initially hit out at the 45, out to the 42-yard line. 33 yards on the punt for Kerry Ware, and it's 1st and 10, and we'll see the second team, you would imagine, a little bit more prominently here for the rest of the ball game for Tom Bolden.
Oh yeah, this is where our job gets really fun now. But yeah, gosh, what, 3rd week in a row we're going to see that their twos come in the second half yet again. So again, great work here. You start to see the future of Lakota West football out there right now.
Running clock, as we had mentioned, with the score. 42-7. And it's Nolan Parker at quarterback, and the running play, big yards there for 26. Giovanni Wilson, 5'9", 155 pounds, a sophomore. Fleet of foot, we saw him a ton against West Claremont 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and he's just a great running back. Reminds me a little bit of Cameron Good. He has great ability to see the backfield and find those open lanes.
Is that Good? As he tries to work his way forward, or is that Wilson? We couldn't see 25 or 26 on that way. One, and it is Wilson.
Again, he is tackled by Caden Bennett.
Caden Bennett on the stop.
Loss of 4 brings up 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5. See what they do here. We haven't seen this situation much for Lakota West. See if they give the youngsters an opportunity to toss the football maybe here.
Well, you would imagine with the score it is and the conservative nature, you wouldn't think necessarily by talking with them that Tom Bolden's conservative, but offensively he is conservative.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Parker will throw, and it is complete out at the 30-yard line. Receiver takes it down the field for a first down.
Great job by Parker there. He's got the ball, set up, throw. Great mechanics there. Anytime that you're able to over-exaggerate those type of mechanics at the quarterback position as a young kid, he's got a bright future ahead of him if he continues to do that.
Brennan Remy gets the reception and moves the chains. 1st and 10 at the 27-yard line with 8 minutes to play. And the running back on the little sleight of hand, we saw the fake by the quarterback Wilson gets good yards on first down.
Great job.
Ishmael on the stop. Go ahead.
No, great job there by Wilson. What I loved on that play, he was patient in the backfield, Jeff, allowed the offensive line to make their blocks and find that hole and get the running lane. And again, big yard there.
2nd and 3 as we're back in the Cincinnati Reds red zone. It's Wilson again, has the first down as he turns the corner out past the 15-yard line. So Wilson, who we saw he was fleet of foot when we last saw him against West Claremont. Coming into the ball game, 6 carries for 90 yards. That's a 15-yard per tote. So they'll spot the ball officially at the 13-yard line. And the running back again takes it, a little stutter, and he rolls to the right on a little self-made counter out there and gets some more yards. So not bad on the pickup there by Wilson. Hassan Robertson, the converted tight end, playing some defense here in the late minutes on the stop.
Great blocking there by Johnny Simpson, the sophomore tight end, getting there kind of in that fullback position for Lakota West. Hit his man and sustain the drive for the running back to get behind him and pick up that big yards.
Here's the running back out towards the 5 once more. Close to the first down is Wilson as they continue to melt the clock. Lanny Ash comes up and makes a stop. As we get down towards 6 minutes left to go. Lakota West will improve to 4-1 on the season. They'll be perfect here in conference, and it'll be a 2nd straight loss for Hamilton when it's all said and done tonight. Under balmy conditions here in Hamilton over at the Schwarm.
See what this offensive line can do. See number 75, Alex Key Jr., offensive lineman, 6 foot 220 in there. See what they can do if you can get a push up here on the Hamilton D-line.
And the running back taken down. I don't know if he got back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, Brandon Ishmael sniffed that one out from start to finish. Wow, he got in there quick.
4th, and we're going to call it 2. Just running out the string, a lot of electrics here in this ball game. Kick returns from both teams tonight. A kick return of 90 for Elijah Givens and a punt return of 55 for Jair Brown. And they pass it, and it's picked off out to the far side. This may be 6. We've got reservations for 6 the other way. On a long, long touchdown return.
That pass is intercepted by Wes Fox, and that is returned
Wes
for
Fox gets credit for the touchdown. 95 yards. Mercy.
Yeah, just Aaron pass there by the quarterback. Just should never really thrown the football. Just kind of dumped it right off to him. But they'll see that on film tomorrow. He's a young kid, sophomore. He'll be able to go in there and learn from that situation. He's got a great coaching staff, so they'll be able to coach him up and say, hey, look, when you get this situation again, here's what we don't want to do. That's part of the ebbs and flows of this offense and what they're trying to do.
Ty Ramey will get to kick. Out of the hold of Gabe Verdun, who we talked about a minute ago. Nathan Barker's the long snapper, and the kick is no good.
extra points, no good. You score with 4.
New score here in this one on the interception return, 42-13. Wes Fox, 95 yards to the house.
Yeah, pretty impressive there by him, streaking down the sideline, picked up the errant throw by Lakota West, and great job there. Hopefully a little life into the Hamilton Big Blue, even though it's there's no way of coming back from it right now.
So Lakota West has given up 13 points tonight, and none of those points are attributed to the defense. 7 came according to special teams, 6 against the offense, against the second team offense, to be fair.
So, really this back-to-back weeks, the defense has not given up any points. Last week against Princeton, very impressive, shutout and shut down of those Princeton wide receivers. And then, again here tonight, just another dominant performance. And Coach Bolden, like we talked about, he talked about taking that next step as a program, and the defense definitely has here so far tonight.
Coming up for Lakota West next week, they'll stay on the road. They'll be at Mason, and then starting next month on the 1st, they'll be at Fairfield. They'll be home against Fairfield. There'll be a start of 2 at home. Fairfield, followed by Middletown on the 8th. They'll be at Coleraine on the 15th. That'll be a huge game from a conference implication. And then to close out the season, the rivalry, the Battle of Lakota. Lakota West over in Beckett Ridge.
Definitely got my eyes set on that one. In that Coleraine game, Coleraine, they kind of struggled early on in the year, and now as they get into the conference play, they've kind of turned it on, become that old Coleraine. I was a little like, wow, what is Coleraine doing here? This is not normal. And now, they've kind of turned it on and figured themselves out. So that game is another key one. It doesn't get any easier for Lakota West, but again, I think what they did tonight, they came out and they were themselves. They were Lakota West.
Well, as I understood this, and take it for what it's worth, because you talk to different people, if you talk to 100 people, you're going to get 100 different opinions. But the thing that I had understood about Coleraine last year, I did talk with some football people, and the idea was that the best talent was in junior high last year. So as they move up to being freshmen in the next year or so, then you may see the talent pool again start to expand again. But, that had been something that had been a concern as we have a timeout right now. There's a second one charged to Hamilton. They've got 1 left. So, I don't know if you're ever going to see anything like what we saw earlier this decade, a 19-year run with 2 coaches, actually 3 coaches, really. Bolden had the big piece of that, though the state championship belonged to Kerry Combs. But a 19-year run where basically they had a tie or the outright win in the greater Miami Conference.
And I think this is a tribute to what they were developed from the ground up, from the youth program on up. And I know Coach Mahan's doing the same thing here at Hamilton. Tonight was youth football night, and I was impressed by how many, kids are out there playing football. And that's your pipeline for these public schools. So, you start them young, you institute your program there so you can build it up. That's what Kerry Combs did when he took over there, coming from Loveland High School back in the, mid-90s. And, Coach Mahan's trying to do the same thing here at Hamilton. It was impressive here tonight to see all those kids out on the field.
Fari from the 20, 30, up the seam to the 40, down the sideline, goodbye! 80 yards on the kickoff return, have mercy. 48-13. There's your exclamation point.
Alex Safari with the return for the West.
Wow.
Firebirds for a touchdown.
My goodness gracious. Alex Safari, we've talked about him all year long. A true triple threat now, offense, defense, and special teams for the kid. I mean, it's a truly great athlete. Coach Bolden talks about just the speed and the awareness, but his smart play capability, his ability to not only just make plays, but make the right and the smart play, week in and week out, just so impressive by Alex Afari. And his athleticism is unbelievable to me.
Partner, this is not Pee Wee football. We're not supposed to see 3 kick returns and an interception return for 6s. Duncan powers it through 49-13, 80 yards on the kickoff return.
I mean, wow. Yeah, just from top to bottom, start to finish, it's been very impressive. And you're right, 3 kick returns in this game alone, it's just truly impressive. Right there. Alex Afari and the special teams, that's something that's going to be, has more emphasis as you get closer to the playoffs and down the weeks. Your special teams really start to matter a lot more. And so when you have these type of plays, you can get the film on them to say, hey, guys, all right, look, this is what we did right. Look at this. This is how we blocked it. We need to do this week in and week out. On the other side, Hamilton had that big kick return as well. So now you have that film to say, hey, look, all right, this is what we can't do now, guys. So, again, that's going to be the emphasis on special teams only increases in these next few weeks for Lakota West.
We didn't get a chance to talk about this in the open, but we're going to talk about it now. The last time these two teams met, it was last year on September 4th in Beckett Ridge. The Firebirds blew out the Big Blue 40-13. Mitch Bolden threw for 3 scores, ran for another. The Offensive Player of the Year in the GMC, Keyshawn Stevens, ran for 2 scores for Hamilton. And Hamilton, or beg your pardon, Lakota West, with a win tonight, they'll have won their 3rd in a row here in this series. Now, the last time Hamilton beat West, it was on October 27, 2017, 27-17. Malik Jarrett racked up 187 yards in that game for the Big Blue, and not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 touchdowns. He had an Al Bundy game.
That's incredibly impressive in that game for sure. That's good.
By the way, as we have a squibber here, and I'll explain for those of us who are younger, as this one picked up at the 20, and we won't have the same razzle-dazzle return for Givens here on this kickoff return attempt. The Al Bundy game is 4 touchdowns. If you're familiar with the show Married with Children, the Ed O'Neill character was named Al Bundy. Go Bundy. And his claim to fame as a women's shoe salesman in his youth was he scored 4 touchdowns for Polk High and would bring it up through the length of the series, and had been a hallmark for Married with Children, which is a classic television show. And if you're not familiar with it, partner, because you are on the young side, I would suggest binge watching it right now.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. The Al Bundy, I like that, man. An Al Bundy hat trick, I guess is what we call that one.
4 of them.
Love it. I love it. Oh, man.
So as we mentioned, a running clock here. Hamilton has the ball at the 24. And do we have another timeout? I guess so, with 3:30 frozen on the clock. So not 1, not 2, not 3.
Timeout, Hamilton.
But actually 3. 3 touchdowns on kick returns, so 3 kick sixes tonight. And then a pick 6 of 95 yards for Wes Fox. Partner, this game is certifiable.
Oh, yeah, they're certifiably crazy. I mean, whenever you have that type of scoring, those different types of scoring, it's really impressive, really what we're seeing here tonight. And again, the way that Lakota West has played in this game, that was going to be one of my keys to the game coming in here was, they need to be Lakota West and take that next step and don't let Hamilton hang around and don't whittle waddle away, with them, and they have done that. They've really put the motors on to Hamilton and have completed this game from start to finish.
Running back carries for a couple off the right side. Partner, we're officially in garbage time for us. So time to talk about the computer rankings. We had talked about 1 versus 2 in Division 1 as well as Division 3. Ross and Baden on our airwaves tomorrow. Reed Mouse will have that game. And the Baden grad is looking his chops.
Absolutely. That's fun whenever you get to call your alma mater. That's a lot of fun. But, really looking at the week so far right now, I know St. Xavier's all over Moeller right now in the second half, so that one's going to go to St. X. Moeller's going to have to kind of regroup, my alma mater. It's nice to see Moeller, though, back in these big games. Probably the biggest game they've played in ranking-wise in a couple years, partner. And, I know that's been frustrating for a lot of, Moeller faithful out there, including myself. So great job by Mark Elder coming in from Eastern Kentucky. His first year is the COVID year. Pretty crazy. Handled that really well. And now, has the team 4-0. They're going to be 4-1, but hopefully, they're able to get their footing right. LaSalle is struggling tonight, so they got them coming up at Norwood Chase Stadium next week for Moeller. So it'll be interesting to see what they can do. But again, it's just nice to have Moeller back in the spotlight in the city. And here we go.
Here's Ware down the sideline out to the 20-yard line. 47 yards on the pickup. He nearly had reservations for 6. So Miles had taken him out. By the way, on the last play, Donovan Ripley, who's a starting defensive back, is getting some running back snaps with Caleb Johnson out of the game. We'd seen him cramp up a couple times. In a game like this, partner, and you and I saw the game get out of hand a week ago, we saw T.J. Engelman get hurt with about 1:05 left to go in the ballgame. And you don't want that when a game's out of hand one way or the other, as Ripley takes it out towards the 10-yard line.
And, it's tough. That's exactly right. And that's the balancing act you play, especially if you're Coach Mahan right now. Who do I play? Right now, it's kind of, we talked about garbage time just between us. It's kind of garbage time right now. You just want to get off the field, stay healthy, but that's the key. You don't want to get anybody hurt right now if you're Hamilton. And so you got to be very methodical with who you have in there, when you have them in. And it's just one of those games you just got to play in a game like this.
Ware has the first down, out towards the 7-yard line, 1st and goal. As we come up on 1 minute left to go. 49-13 is your score here at the Schwarm tonight. Single wides to each side, 1st and goal. Quarterback keeping off the right side inside the 5 and taken down at about the 4-yard line. So a couple of yards on the pickup for Kerry Ware. And with the clock the enemy, as the clock continues to melt, we'll see if they can get it in the next 1 or 2 plays. Ware has it short of the goal line, about a yard away. Helmet came off. Third and goal. As we see JoJo Baker, who had come out of the game a couple times, reemerge for Hamilton.
Yeah, they're going to try and get some points right here, Jeff, try and finish strong in this game.
And the ball is muffed. And it's loose. And it's picked up by West. They nearly had another 6 defensively, and this game has come to an end. What a way to finish.
Wow. I'm going to steal a line from you. Mercy. Wow.
49-13 the final tonight in a game that had a lot of histrionics to it. 3 kick returns and an interception return for touchdowns. And early on, it was Cameron Good's show. He got over the century mark very early in the second half tonight. Had 13 carries for 99 yards in the first half and 2 scores. He was a real difference maker to start things off.
Cameron Good in that first half was just running all over, left and right, throughout this Hamilton defense. And just really, like you said, it was kind of the Cameron Good show. First off, I think their first drive, one of their first drives, he ran the ball probably 9 times within the drive. But you also got to go back, and that's a testament to their offensive line. Tony Kernis, Tegrid Chabola, Lathan McCombs, all those guys down there on the offensive line. I tell you, one guy who blocked very well tonight was the tight end, Anderson Simpson, number 33 off the edge. Anytime you're able to get those down blocks and get that pressure off the edge, Cameron Good is going to find those running lanes, and he did that in the first half. And then, great job also in the second half, or really towards the end of the second, the first half, by Mitch Bolden in the passing game then. So, you saw them run the ball so well, Jeff, and then they are able to transition and go into a passing way when, the running game opened that up for them late in the first half into the second half, and they converted and they played very well. And just very impressed on all sides, passing and rushing for Lakota West here tonight.
Very impressive. A three-pronged attack, if you will. Scoring every which way possible for both teams tonight. 49-13, the final here. Let's get to a play of the game powered by headlines. What's your play?
Oh, it's got to be that 44-yard punt return by Jair Brown. I'm sorry, 55-yard punt return by Jair Brown. Either way, a really long punt return by Jair Brown for Lakota West. And that really kind of solidified the game right at that point then. That, this was Lakota West's game, and they were going to dominate it from start to finish. But just an amazing play by Hollywood, getting in there and just running all over the defenders for Hamilton. Jeff, I don't know about you, man, but I need a shower. It's been a hot one here tonight.
Well, since you did say it, we're going to play a few seconds here. Of
there
this,
you go.
So, with that also being said now, as we, kind of get away from the frivolity and come back to life here as we put a wrapper on this one. Partner, it was a really interesting game. I don't know if I'd call it a good game. Anytime that you have a game that goes into a running clock, it's never good. Unless you're Lakota West following Cameron Good.
Very good. I like the play on Woods there. No, very, very good. Absolutely. And exactly. For Hamilton tonight, Coach Mahan, they were up against a giant. And I think J.D. Vonderheide kind of said it before the game that, this was really their week 2. Last week, they're still trying to figure this team out, and they haven't had time necessarily to jive together and come together and figure it all out. I expect them to get better with each week. Their schedule does not necessarily help them out in the GMC at all with that. But again, if they compartmentalize and kind of focus in on the little things, those big things will tend to take care of them for Hamilton. Hamilton does have players. Anxious to see what Caleb Johnson does down the stretch this season. I really think he is truly one of the most productive running backs in the city. Like I said, with 394 yards, more tonight now coming into this game. Just imagine what he had with those 2 weeks. You're looking at a really prolific running back for Hamilton, somebody who, is going to do great in years to come out west at Cal.
Let's put a wrapper to this one as Lakota West improves to 4-1. They've won 4 in a row. They'll stay on the road. They'll be at Mason next week. That'll be a big game up in that neck of the woods. And then it'll be on the road for Hamilton. They'll be at Fairfield a week from today. They fall to 1-2 on the season. Partner, it was a fun one tonight. If nothing else, you and I were highly, highly entertained.
Absolutely. Yet again, and great entertainment by this Lakota West offense and defense. My goodness gracious. Tyler Hall's the defensive coordinator. Great job tonight calling it. And then, Jerry Bouchamp to my left. Just great job calling the offense, getting the ball in the playmakers' hands, and then also being diverse, running the ball and throwing the ball. Anxious to see Lakota West, what they can do down the stretch.
Partner, can't wait to do it again in week 6.
Absolutely.
And again, the final here tonight, 49-13. The Firebirds walk away a winner, improving to 4-1. Hamilton falls to 1-2. Thanks go out to our videographers tonight, Alex McCleary and Maddie Moores. Our production staff, the production twins, Kevin Miller and Zach Teeters. For Kevin Zilch, I'm Geoff Kim. We bid you so long from Hamilton.